And we've got some more people joining us tonight. Excellent. Hey, guys.
Hey.
Hey. It's Sierra, right?
Yes.
That's what I thought. Or Miss Sargent.
Yeah. Technically not anymore. I'm technically now Mrs. Fisher, but I gotta keep my brand.
That's right. Yeah, I hear you. Hey.
Hey, hi everyone.
What's your name again?
Erica.
Erica, that's right. Nice to meet you officially
Yeah.
in person. Yeah, I figure we will have more people joining us. I know throughout the night it's going to be a little bit of everybody. And it seems like we can have up to 9 people at a time. So that's kind of cool. So you said you can't go to Midwest this year, Sierra?
No, financially I can't. I keep signing up for all these big races that cost, a couple.
I had a feeling. I was like, she's running so much. I bet you that's her new drug of choice.
Yeah, well, just a little bit, gotta get away from the music every once in a while.
Hey, I hear you. Hello, Mr. Garcia. Welcome.
What's up, everybody?
Welcome. So I have myself a map here that I'm gonna color in when we get a band director from that state. So this is why you're kind of already talking about that in our
Beautiful.
chat. So,
did y'all see the Alaska guy that's everywhere on, or was everywhere during BOA?
Yes. They came down and like Avon hosted them. Is that right?
I think so.
Did y'all not?
I didn't get to see their band, but I saw a little bit about it.
They came down I just saw a clip. I mean, it was just a crazy endeavor to travel that far with that many kids. They had to borrow equipment from all sorts of people. They fundraised, all sorts of stuff.
That's really cool that they got to come.
Oh yeah.
So Sierra, you're in Wisconsin, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Wisconsin doesn't have any extra parts like Michigan, right? It's just Wisconsin. All right, just making sure. So, Erica, how long have you been at your school?
My current school, this is my 6th year.
Okay. And you're just middle school or you do high school too?
I do middle school. It's my 13th year teaching, but at this specific school, it's just middle school band, and I teach 6th grade general music.
Nice.
Cool.
And you taught in Virginia, you said, and
Yeah.
DC, right?
Yeah,
That's
so
awesome.
I'm from Fredericksburg, Virginia, and I worked in that city, but I also worked in DC, and I also worked in Wilmington, North Carolina, but I settled in Maine.
Wow. That's pretty cool, though. I've never even been to Maine, so that's one of the states I haven't been to.
No, it's so lovely. I highly recommend everyone in the chat and everyone here to visit Maine some point in their life.
All right, Mr. Kneisel is our first one from Illinois. Is that right? Mr. Kneisel, you're from Illinois?
Yep.
I've got a map here.
Midwest of Illinois, yes.
Yeah, so far we're just kind of Midwest and East Coast here, so
Nice.
we got to get all over the place. Yeah, thanks guys for hopping on tonight. Now, Sierra, you said you're teaching high school this year. How is that going?
Oh, it's going. I miss middle school. I still technically get to help out with middle school, but in high school, it's been great. It's just, it's different.
Mm-hmm.
This is your first year with high school?
Yeah.
Cool.
It was middle school the previous 4 years, and then, my district broke my heart, so.
Yeah. Greg!
Thank you, Reese K12, for sending the rose.
All right, we've got 3 girls, 3 guys. Hey, Mr. Bergman, or should we call you
Mr.
Bergman?
Greg is fine, thank you very much.
Band teaching tip number 677.
Hey, Mr. Bergman, what's today's tip? We need a tip.
I don't know. I recorded about 6 of them at school the other day, so I could upload one each morning this week. We don't have school. I wouldn't have to think about it too hard.
Nice.
I think fundraising's coming up.
I devour your content.
Oh. It's low quality production, low production quality, but it's
No.
No, I think
it's a gold mine.
Yeah, I agree. And yeah, I don't know who. Oh, AI is doing stuff for us. Hello, Lila, is that right?
Hi, I'm Lilia.
Lilia. Nice to meet you officially.
Nice to meet you all. This is so exciting.
Yeah. What state are you in again?
I'm in
said,
Wisconsin.
Oh,
yeah.
we got another Wisconsin. All right. And you're in Kansas, right, Greg?
Yes. Yep. Middle of Kansas.
Okay, I think I know which one Kansas is. I'm going to color in Kansas now.
You're going to have to share this map.
I know, I'm excited. I just was like, I want to see what we look like across the United States here, you know, representing. And I love maps. And yeah, so far that's where we are.
You're going to need like tally marks for every person that joins in for each state.
I don't have West Virginia yet. I should put myself on here. There we go. I need to do that. So better get the good old West Virginia on here at this point.
Is Arkansas colored in, Miss Ellen?
It is.
Okay, good.
It is. I know where that is. I'm pretty good at maps and states.
Yeah.
So it's right above Louisiana, right? You were bought in the Louisiana Purchase.
Yep, that's correct.
We duped those French, didn't we, man? We totally duped
They did
them.
not see it coming.
They really didn't. So, Lilia?
Yeah.
I'm trying to get it right. I have to say names with my students.
Like Lily with an A at the end. It's not
Lilia. Yeah. I have to say those names with my students all the time, like to get them right. I have to say it out loud. Because if I say it wrong out loud once, then I'm going to keep saying it out loud. And I'm like, oh, I'm saying your name wrong. I'm so sorry.
Hey, we got to say thank you to Cowgirl. She just gave everyone a rose here.
Thank you.
Yes, Cowgirl, you're the best.
Thank you, Cowgirl. Yeah, and Mr. Kneisel, you have got to keep up with all that for us. All right.
I can't keep my eyes on the chat. It's going so fast.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dylan.
I'm checking the chat and I'm replying to some
Thank you.
people.
I appreciate that. My husband will sometimes moderate for me too. So please, if you see him, he's probably doing that too.
Somebody had me moderate for their live the other day, and I was just ready to block somebody, but nobody said anything wild. So I was good.
Oh, we've got Darth Glader here. Excellent. Hello, Mr. Glader. We can add Ohio to the mix. I better get a red.
Oh, we got a tuba player in the chat. We got a shout out to the tuba players in the chat.
Nice.
Love it.
Every band director's dream to have like 1 million of them.
Somebody asked me today, they're like, why won't my band director let me switch to tenor saxophone? He says it messes with my embouchure. And I said, you're probably the only tuba player in the band. He's not going to let you switch at this point.
No, if you have tuba players, you give them extra points. You carry their instrument for them. You got to do what you got to do,
That and French horn. Oboe, if they're good,
Oh, yeah, they're good, yeah. If they're bad, the opposite.
What were all your guys' instruments? I know Mr. Garcia and Mr. Kneisel were trumpet players, and I know Glader's a sax player.
Oh, is he?
Trumpet for me too.
Powerful.
Yeah, I'm a clarinet player.
Me too, clarinet.
Flute.
Oh, that's right, flute. Excellent. Yeah, I played trumpet and mostly trumpet in college, so excellent. And I think we can only have up to 9 people, so I don't know. Whoever hops on next. Feel free to stay as long as you want, though. So,
Dylan, thank you for all the gifts. Olivia too. Oh my gosh.
Yes, thank
A lot of
you.
people sending stuff.
I don't understand how to look at the chat. There's so much going on.
Now, are you all on computers or phones?
I'm on my phone.
I tried to be on the computer, but it wouldn't let me invite people. So I was like, I got to move back to my phone. So
I don't have a Windows computer. I think I may need to invest in one, though, because that's the only way to live stream from my computer. Am I correct, Mr. Kneisel?
They're changing it. They're sending out Live Studio for Mac very soon.
Oh,
I just downloaded it and it let me do it, but I couldn't host people. I had to do a co-host thing. Which
It's over on the left. You have to co-host.
Yeah. So, but I have a Mac and I was doing it okay. So don't go buy a PC. Stay on the good side.
Okay. Good. Yeah, I really wasn't doing it super excited, but
yeah. And guys, if you're just joining us in the chat, looks like we have about 410 people here. If you guys don't follow any of these fantastic other band directors here, you need to. All right.
I want to
Go
see each
follow-
of them get 400 new followers tonight.
Yes,
At
every
least.
single one of them, please.
I'm so
Go.
close to the 10K mark. That would be so fun.
10K, that's awesome.
This is
Big
Ellen
milestone.
Yeah. If she shouted me out the other day, I think I gained 500 followers in 24 hours. So
Good.
Wow.
You deserve it.
Yes, a lot of power.
Lots of work. Yeah, you're hanging in there. Well, I just saw someone I think we could invite. Oh, there she is.
June
Coming
Snow.
in. I don't know if that's her real name though.
I think it's a Game of Thrones reference.
I know that Cooking with Valve Oil was trying to log in too.
I've never seen more than 9.
Hopefully he can try.
Yeah, hopefully he can hop on here.
There's somebody
I have to go
that keeps
pack a little
asking
bit,
about.
so I'll free up the
clarinet
space in a little
tips.
bit, but I didn't want to miss this.
Yeah, I'm glad you came. What'd you say, Mr. Garcia?
Somebody keeps asking about their clarinet playing sounds airy. I think we had some clarinet band directors. Maybe they have some comments.
That's
Are you a clarinet player, Miss Snow?
Oh, yeah. My real name is Mrs. Steppen.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. It's a reference to, just really quick, it's a reference to the song, a song that my husband and I, it was our first date, and it was called Snow in June, and that was the song on our
Oh
first
my
date.
God.
So that's what
Beautiful.
it's a reference for.
Aw.
That's a lot nicer than what I guessed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Jon
See, I heard
Snow
your
of the
Game of
North.
Thrones. I was like, well, I like Game of Thrones. Airy clarinet sound, is that on a specific note or?
It's probably overall. It probably sounds
Yeah,
like
they just said,
they're like,
do you have any tips? I play B flat clarinet and it is airy.
Yeah.
I always tell my kids to check their reeds, make sure they're
Right.
not too hard or they're unbalanced. Like I try to teach my kids to look into the light and see the V on the reed. And if it's super heavy on one side or it's just like there is no V at all, it'll like it feels like it's playing by a 2x4 sometimes. So
also making sure that the reed is damp before you use it. I know, especially I teach
Yeah.
beginning band, and getting my beginning band students to like want to make the reed damp before they play it is it's a learning curve, but that can really contribute to your overall sound. And if your reed is too dry, then that might be where that airiness could come from.
Yeah, I also think that the student make sure you're airy because air is escaping from your embouchure, or are you airy because like your sound is legit airy? So you can tell whether or not it's escaping from your embouchure by like putting your hand here. You can really tell. There's two different sounds.
Or-
basically.
I've
Yes.
also found that if they do double lip embouchure, they become kind of airy as well.
Yeah.
And I used to play double lip. No one told me to put my teeth on the mouthpiece. Didn't listen.
Me too.
But and I got to high school and my lip started bleeding in marching band, and I was like, what the heck is wrong? And they're like, oh yeah, you're not supposed to curl it over your top teeth. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
are
You
you
can do the
talking
wiggle
about?
test. You put their clarinet mouthpiece and then
Yep.
do one of those.
Also, if the reed placement's a little low, or if the reed is getting waterlogged where it's too, that can also create airy sound too.
Yeah.
Okay,
I love-
totally fake G. I really hope you're paying attention because you just had. When are you ever going to be able to have 9 band directors give you tips on this?
Yeah.
Totally
Yes.
fake _G. You better be taking notes.
That's
Yeah.
that's the
Rotate your
frustrating-
reeds.
That's the
Miss Steppen, did you say you're from North Dakota?
I'm not originally from here, but I've been here now for 12 years.
Okay, well, North Dakota's getting colored in on the map here. I think I know where
That's
this
the
one is.
frustrating thing about reeds is the list of things that can go awry is lengthy.
Yeah.
I just
I-
recently had a beginner student, and we're very strict about taking reeds off and cleaning out the instrument. When I go around and I check them, and this poor kid who has taken his reed off every day goes, I don't know what's happening to my reed. Brand new reed, took it off. It's already black with mold, and I'm like, what is going on? And we found out the pH balance in his saliva is super off. So what we've had, and it's reacting to the bamboo. So what we've had to do is every time he takes his reed off, we spray it with that Sandy Mist, the green spray, and it hasn't come back. So just be aware out there. It's a super bizarre problem. I've only ever seen it twice, but if you have students that have a pH imbalance, and it's usually in their saliva, it will cause their reeds to get all wonky.
Wow.
Would synthetic reeds be a good alternative for those students? Like Leger makes a great synthetic
Yes,
reed.
I actually, I should probably share the STL file. My husband has been 3D printing reeds for me, and you have to give them a little bit of sanding, but it costs 3 cents to print a reed, and they're really nice to just give out to students if they're like, oh, I don't have a reed, I forgot my reed, I forgot to bring money to pay for a reed. You just whoop, give them a reed. They do, you kind of have to pre-warn the student. They do kind of feel weird, but I did a side-by-side comparison of a Leger reed, the 3D printed PLA reed, which is safe to put in your mouth, and just a regular cane reed, and they sound just as good.
Wow. My brother has a 3D printer, so if you have that file or know where you found it,
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
would love to see it. 'Cause that is
Yeah,
so-
it's free. Somebody put it out there, and it's free.
okay.
I had a kid 3D print me a euphonium mouthpiece the other day. Really interesting. I think the only problem with it was that like it built. I'm not super familiar with it, but it builds it from like the cup up, so it's sharp around the lips. It feels a little weird, but I mean, once if they could think of a different way to do it, but
I bought sandpaper for a 3D printed mouthpiece someone brought me, and it had the same problem, and I couldn't really fix it. It just didn't feel right.
yeah.
I had someone bring in a 3D printed mouthpiece that looks like The Rock.
Yeah, I need one of those. I'm gonna need one.
Also, Cooking with Valve Oil is trying to get in. So just like, hey man, we see you. You're hang in there, man. We're gonna get you on here. We can only have 9 apparently. So hang in there. Take care of the chat for me.
I saw a lot of in the chat. I'm seeing a lot of alto sax and flute help. My thing with flute, if you're super airy, I always tell my kids, you got to find that sweet snuggle spot and try it just on the head joint. Take it off the flute. Just do the head joint, cover the head joint. Make sure you can get that nice A sound that's nice and clear. And then once you got that, then you can kind of bring your, I don't want to say lips more together, but more the ooh to get the higher sound, pull it off, work on just the clear part for airy, and then put it together on your flute and do A. So you can, because now you're mimicking the head joint. So I try really hard to get kids to do A, and then I didn't see anything else. Something with alto sax.
Did you have any tips for flute, airy flute?
What's
You
that?
have a flute player here?
With their left hand. They're touching their lip to the lip plate, but they're not pushing a little bit. I'm married to a flutist, so
Yes.
vicariously I've learned a lot of stuff from her. But they don't use enough oomph, enough muscle.
Ooh, someone's asked, why are scales important?
Excellent question.
Music is scales.
So I always tell my scales. I always tell my kids, it's been a week already. My God. I always tell my kids scales are your cement foundation of your house. You cannot build a house without a foundation. The scales help with techniques. We all hated them. I remember, they're just something you have to do. It's like doing the dishes or laundry. That is what it is of music, is your scales are you're doing the dishes, doing laundry. You have to have clean clothes. You gotta have clean dishes to eat on. The scales provide, they already provide you knowledge for recognizing patterns in music. So if you see the music is in concert E flat, you're like, okay, I already know my concert E flat scale. Where is that scale in my music? And, when we played through the Rubank books and all of those books, you have to learn them in thirds as well, and the intervals. Being able to see those patterns makes you a better sight reader.
That's good.
That's what we talk about a lot with our scales. Is just like, oh, look at this music. See, it's like that's literally the scales we've been working on. Like it's everywhere in your music.
Yeah, I would love to get more play alongs for scales, like like John McAllister type stuff, because then you can just put it on and they do it as like a warm up almost. Like I don't spend a ton of time on fundamentals. Like we play out of the book, and then we play a lot of songs because that's why I was in band, was to play the music, and that's what keeps kids coming back, at least in my band room. And I've learned that everybody's band room is different. So what works for you might not work for me. And I get it. Like I do teach out of a method book. We do have playing tests, but we do play a lot of music too. So
I've been trying to figure out my clavinova. So I have one of those electronic clavinovas where you can save songs.
Oh, yeah.
And I've been trying to, I really like to get like the backbeats going. So I'll ask a kid, are we doing R&B or entertainment today? And then I go through and I just pick one. But those ones are really fun to do scales to as well. Or I always tell kids, just look up pop songs in concert B flat or whatever their thing is. And then they can do, I don't know if you guys have seen the trend where they like put on a pop song or a very popular song today. And then
Like
they
the
play
milkshake
like
song.
Bach.
milkshake.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or they play like Bach over the top. And I'm like, man, that is just so cool to be able to play something you have to practice and then, you know, put it over something that matches the key.
Yeah.
That's so cool to me. So I think it's just sometimes with scales and all of that stuff, sometimes it's just great getting creative, especially in our band rooms with beginners, because our whole purpose is to try to suck them in, you know, and make them enjoy band.
It's good stuff.
Also, if those of you who are watching, 421 of you, make sure you follow all these great creators. They've got amazing tips. I only know so much, guys. Like we got to be a team in this.
That's right.
And, you know, there is no percussionist here, I've noticed. So, like, who thinks they're the
Thank
strongest
God.
percussionist?
I have to teach
I'm
middle
actually
school
pretty
and-
decent on percussion, but
Yeah.
but I think I was going on to what you said, Miss Allen, is that just like when we bring clinicians, like we may say something in a way that would finally click to you. So definitely follow like as many, not just us, as many educators that are on this platform, because you know, even though we communicate what's best for our students, but just like any kind of guest person will come and they'll say this and they'll be like, oh, I get it. And I'm like, wait, like I literally told you that yesterday, like 20 times. What are you talking about? You just now get it, you know? And so I just think that the more questions you ask, and I think it's just really great to just keep at it.
Also, I want to take a screenshot of us so everybody smile.
I love those light bulb moments where people are like, "Oh my gosh, it clicked! Finally, I understand." We've been
That's my
doing that on
favorite.
purpose. Oh,
Yeah.
like the warm up matches the song or whatever the exercise is.
To me, when a student hasn't been tonguing and they finally tongue for the first time, I lose my mind. I'm like running around the room like an insane person, jumping up and down because, like, to me, that is the holy grail of finally getting a good sound when they haven't been.
That just happened to me with my 7th grade trumpets last week. Like I had that like, oh my gosh, you did it moment, and everyone was like, whoa, why is she yelling?
Yeah. I love freaking my students out and being like, oh my God, did you hear that? That was amazing. They're like, what are you
I make
doing?
them clap for them and everything. Yeah.
Yeah. I did just see a really important question for us. Somebody said, is it worth being a band teacher? That is a fantastic question. I want to say for me, it's yes, because I always felt like it was a calling. I'm sure for a lot of you it was. I wouldn't be the same person I would be without band. It is definitely, though, you have to know work-life balance. I don't know about you guys that are on here, but I had an identity crisis of, yes, I am a band director, but that is not my entire personality. But I think it's worth it. My favorite moments, like you were saying with your trumpets, I feel like with us, hearing kids go from, my kids like to call it the rubber chicken sound of everybody's dying and rabid. And then going to this, like their first scale and hearing their first chords is like, it is just pure dopamine for me 24/7. It never gets old.
No, it doesn't. Greg, were you trying to say something?
I was just saying, I can't imagine doing anything else.
Oh,
I'm at
exactly.
the point now where people say, how many more years you got left? I think, well, I'm not going to retire now and become an insurance salesman or a realtor or something. I'm too old to train at this point, so I'm just going to write this out. I told him, Beat's working for a living.
I was at a PD with other music teachers, and I brought up the question of how do we best support students that could go into music education or a music field of any kind. and set them up ahead of time. So like as 8th graders say, hey, this is what you need to be doing before you get into high school, and then in high school you need to be doing this. And I had in PD other music teachers say, hey, why are you telling kids that they should go into music? Like, they shouldn't go into music. They could be doing other stuff. And I thought, man, that is awful that we're in the field and we have some people that think, oh, we shouldn't support others to go into the field. Now, I don't think every kid should do it, but you know, when you target the kids that have that gift, like absolutely, I should be supporting them along the way.
There are usually signs. You can tell who's about to become a band director. It's like, oh man, I've already learned 3 instruments and I sing and I play the piano and I want to stay after school and help. What else can I do? It's like, okay, that right there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I decided to become a band director kind of like in the moment. There was a college fair, and I was wanted to be a teacher, so I was like filling out that card. You know, there's like, okay, what do you want to major in? I was like, okay, education, and they're like, and it was like, what do you want to teach? And I was like, oh, what's my favorite class of the day? And band, I was like, oh, I love music. Yeah, okay, check. And my band director, like the person from that college, went and talked to my band director and I was like, hey, you have someone who's going to major in music ed, right? And he was like, what? And then he came to me and he was like, what the heck? Why didn't you tell me? And I said, well, I just decided. I didn't really even realize it. And then I got to school and I was like, what did I get myself into? This is so much work. Oh my gosh.
So kind of similar to what was said earlier about people in the profession being like, oh, like, why would you want to do that? I grew up, my dad is a middle school band teacher. So I grew up with a band teacher in the house, hearing the stories of middle school band my entire life. And I, like, from the time I was little to when I started high school, I didn't think that I wanted to teach because my dad was a teacher. I was like, well, that's what my dad does, and I don't know if that's for me or not. Like, maybe I want to try something different. And I always knew that, like, music was something I was passionate about and wanted to continue with. But then it wasn't until I was in marching band in high school and I was section leader and then drum major that I was like, okay, like, those teaching moments and, like, being part of a team, like, it's just it's so much different than being a teacher in any other subject. Like, you're really a part of a team, and that's something that's really special and didn't totally click for me until I was around that, like, 15, 16 mark. And then from there, no matter how much work it was going to be or how hard, I knew that was what I wanted to do.
So I have actually I always share this story with my students when they first meet me, is that I never planned to be a band director originally. I was going to be a classic scholar. I was really into, like, the Roman like literature and, like, Latin and, like, Greek mythology, and that's what I was going to be my track. And then my junior year, I took, like, AP Virgil and Latin 4. Here's me geeking out a little bit. And first one ever to do that in school, to take 2 Latins as a junior. And that year I couldn't do band because, you know, the classes were during band. And so I realized then that, like, I actually liked band more. And I had to, like, tell my Latin teacher, I'm so sorry you were, you know, helping me get into governor's school for Latin and all this stuff, but I'm choosing to be a music teacher.
Cooking with Valve Oil says he was a chemistry major.
Nice.
Ready to go. Wow. And when he started college, but switched his sophomore year and never turned back. I have a similar story. I had a former student call me. He was in Arizona, all the way from West Virginia. He ended up in Arizona. And he called me, like, in September. He was a computer science major. And he was like, I can't do this anymore, Miss Allen. I have to be a band director. And and both his parents were teachers. And I was like, well, your parents aren't going to really want you to do that. And he was like, I got to do it. And I was like, all right, well, look, this is what you need to do. And he out now. He's a first year band director out in Arizona. So, you know, sometimes the job picks us.
Right.
That's right.
Agreed.
Yep. Mr. Caniso, are you fixing a flute?
The springs on this thing are so bad. The entire rod fell off, and half these springs are, like, curved and bent. I don't know how to change a spring. I just know how to put it back on.
That must have been Jimmy's flute.
Is it on the?
It's really
is it up
bad. It
towards
just
the
it just falls back down, and so I don't think I can fix this one. I was gonna say the biggest deciding factor for a lot of my peers, like we had a class of maybe 15 kids. It's a small private school, but we had like 15 kids who wanted to be music education majors. And then each year it kind of dwindled and dwindled, but we still had a whole lot. We got to like student teaching or observations, and we got into the classroom, and you had to go observe for, a week or whatever. And half of the class dropped. Only 3 of us actually became majors after that. Everyone else went and did something else. They said, nope, not for me. So you really need to like go get in the classroom and see if you like it first before you really commit.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep.
Ed programs have changed a lot since my days in the mid 90s. I think they do a much better job of getting kids out there early to see, is this what you really want to do? My son will be graduating. He'll be student teaching this semester. Music ed.
Congratulations.
Awesome.
Teaching your own kids is great, but watch them become band directors. I'm not sure how I feel about that yet. But yeah, he's been out in
Hello,
the classrooms
Cooking
a
with
lot.
Valboil joining us.
Yeah, welcome aboard.
I guess I should probably say my real name's Chris. So,
Hi, Chris.
Welcome.
or Mr. Morgan, either one.
Morgan. All right. Well, welcome. We had somebody just in the chat asking for tips about playing a solo.
Play it for as many people before you go on stage as you can. Play it in different places, play at different temperatures, different scenarios, have somebody interrupt you in the middle of it. Think of every possible thing that could happen and try to emulate those.
FaceTime your grandma and play for grandma.
Yep.
I'd
My
also
number
say-
one. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Nope, you go first.
My number one thing that I noticed over the years and the advice that I give to students is like the number one reaction to playing something by yourself is tension. Tension here, tension here, everywhere. So like doing whatever you can before the fact, like doing some box breathing, doing some mental meditation, like whatever is going to get you in the zone to play as if you were playing with 1,000 other people next to you, but just getting rid of any tension, brain, embouchure, body, all of it.
Yep. Play slow at the beginning of the performance, just slightly slower than you think you need to, just because you're going to be going faster because of your heart is beating and there's adrenaline and everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say the other thing that really helped me with solos is sometimes when you practice it so many times, you kind of lose the purpose of playing the solo and it's just black dots on a page. So I always try to tell kids, especially with like all state solos or auditions or stuff, you have to make up a story or listen to somebody else play it. Maybe ask a friend that's a really good player or your teacher, have them play it for you so that you can hear it. There's actually a really cool app that I discovered. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head, but it'll scan the music and then you pick the instrument and it'll play it for you if you don't know how it goes. And I always like to say, is it quirky? Does this take place in a city? Is it in the forest? Is this an awkward date? Like you got to try to like put it in a scenario so you can play more than the black dots on a page.
Similar to that point, as in my own experience, as I got older doing things like solo and ensemble, I don't know, I'm sure it's called something different in all the varying states that we're in, but solo and ensemble for us. By the time I got older, I got to the point that I would work to memorize my solo and ensemble piece, like my clarinet solo. I played it memorized for the judge because having that barrier of having the black dots on the page in front of me was almost cagey in a way, like getting rid of it and being able to like not feel confined behind a stand. If we're talking in the realm of like concert band solos where you're sitting in an ensemble, that's a very different scenario. But same thing with jazz. If you're taking a jazz solo and you stand up, like you're not behind that front anymore, you're standing up and you're connecting with the audience. That plays a really big role in solo performances, is having like that physical barrier in front of you and what it feels like in your body.
That's so many great tips because I was a horrible soloist. So I would practice alone in a practice room so many times and I thought I had it and then I'd go in front of people and almost drop my trumpet. So I started because that happened, I was like, okay, I've got to fix this. So my friends and I, we had a weekly, I'm sure you had a weekly recital in your college that you had to attend for no credits. And at least that's what it was for me. And we would do that, but we would do it at night once a week. So we would do a nightly recital with just students, and we'd go around the whole department, whoever was practicing at like 9:30 at night. Can you come and listen to us? Can you come and listen to us? And it would be whoever was in the building. So like it could be anybody, like who intimidates you, makes you feel nervous, and that's why I tell my students to play in front of people who make you nervous. And at the beginning, when it comes to like playing, and I use this tip all the time, and it works great for my beginners. Some kids don't want to do playing tests in front of the class, and so I don't make everybody do it. If they are going to freak out, whatever, just send me a video. But if you want to try, you need to practice with an audience at home, and I tell them their first audience is always their stuffed animals. I said, set them all up. Like in your bed, and that is your audience, because you know what, they love you and they think you're the coolest. And then let's move up to the house pet and then move up to grandma on FaceTime, and then slowly work your way to the person who, you know, will say the mean thing to you.
Yeah.
So I also added Chris to our map here. We have Pennsylvania now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 states represented.
Where's the West Coast at?
I don't know. We only have like one, really. We have Jackie in California.
They're just getting out of school right now.
So yes, yeah, and it's snowing where you guys are, or you have snow.
Downpour for days.
Yeah, just rain.
That's wild. We got a foot of snow last night.
It was 60 degrees here today.
Wisconsin normally always has snow by this time, and I'm so surprised that we haven't had any yet. Like, at least my part of Wisconsin. I know that, weirdly, the southern part of Wisconsin got more snow like a week or so ago. But
Mr. Morgan, you got a shout out from a district, somebody in
PA. I'll have to pay them the $5 I probably owe them. Thanks for that.
Cooking with Valve Oil is from Williamsport, Pennsylvania, right? Pennsylvania. Yep. Excellent. I went to a concert there one time because my husband loves Darius Rucker and Hootie and the Blowfish. And that was the only place they were playing, like nearby, like that was nearby, and it was like 3 hours away. So that's where we went.
Hey, 3 hours is nothing when you're here.
Got to remind everyone, if you're just joining, make sure that you are following everybody in this.
Everybody, yes.
All 9 of us.
I love that you're in the middle, Mr. Knight.
Right. I know. I feel like I'm not even the host. I feel like I'm
the Brady Bunch.
It is the Brady Bunch. Oh, I love
it's the Mr. Kneisel show.
Get Jimmy in there.
June, you were talking about, putting expression and stuff into solos, and I was thinking about, you brought up solo and ensemble. Solo and ensemble is great prep for like an audition, going into college and that type of thing. But it is such a sterile environment, and like just like going through it as a kid, it's so stressful going into that room with just like one judge, and they're telling your parents don't say anything, and like it's so sterile. And I hear that they're trying to shift that, which would be great to make it more inviting environment. But
I think it depends on where you are. Like, like our solo ensemble is very laid back. And ever since COVID, it's sort of dwindled in our state, and then it's sort of come back. But it's all in who's running it, and the vibe.
Much easier, in my opinion.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. I'm a second-year beginning band teacher, and the school that I teach at just started their beginning band program last year. So the program started when I got there, and I'm taking a handful of middle schoolers for the first time this year, which I'm super excited. And if anyone has any tips on rep and things of that nature, like, I am all ears. But as someone, my last year of solo ensemble was COVID. So I had my district festival, and then the world shut down, and I didn't have state because that was the year that I graduated high school in 2020. So, I'll play the world's smallest violin for the rest of my life. But yes, towards the end of my time doing solo ensemble, I felt like empowered to do so many events. Like I was taking 10 events to district for, like, I was doing the max amount that I could do. I did a trumpet solo one year, a class B trumpet solo, even though I play clarinet, and I did a piano solo, even though I don't play piano, and I would do a bari sax solo, and then our jazz band went, and we'd do a saxophone choir and a woodwind choir, and it was just like, I felt like as I went on in time and had the capacity to do more events, it got more fun because it just became playing music with my friends in front of someone who's going to give us a new perspective. And I started really not liking solo ensemble. It was something that stressed me out as a beginning musician to like it being my favorite time of year by the time I graduated. So to anyone watching who might feel intimidated or stressed by the thought of solo ensemble festivals, the judges they're there to give you advice. No one wants to wish you any harm or poo-poo on your music dreams. Like, we're all here to build you up, and it might seem scary, but it is such a fulfilling experience.
Yeah, that's great advice.
And it's a different experience as a senior compared to a 7th, 8th, or 9th grader.
Yes.
Sometimes I'll tell a freshman, you're doing this, so when we do this 2 or 3 years from now, it's a piece of cake, and you know what to expect.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. One of the questions. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. I was just seeing in the questions and the comments, there were a couple questions. Somebody asked about saxophone vibrato. They're trying to learn it for wind ensemble for a piece. And there was another clarinet saying, I'm really struggling going from lower notes to higher notes. I'll answer that one just real quick. You got to start in your low register below C, B flat, A, G, get those nice and strong. And once you've hit, like, I always start on A. That one's the easiest one to teach tongue placement because you go A, E, and you don't change any of this. You just change your tongue going up to E, which works because you are playing an E when you hit the register key. And then just work on those nice and strong. And you have to remember that going up high does not mean playing louder. You have to have the same tone quality of the low notes up in the clarion register is what it's called. So work on your lower notes, just pressing that register key. There's a bazillion clarinet register exercises out there that are very easy to find. A lot of them are in the band books. That's what you have to practice. Saxophone vibrato. I started learning flute vibrato first, so I don't know if there's any saxophone players here that can maybe speak to that.
Later, next to you there.
High five. Like, you know, most high schoolers have crazy vibrato on sax. It's just like unmetered and kind of just really fast.
Yeah.
My college professor had me just work on vibrato with metronome and do different eighth notes, triplets, 16th notes, and then really just gaining control of how you can meter the vibrato, and then you can become expressive with it later after you get that.
And hear me out. Like, I think there's something to be said about listening to somebody playing vibrato.
Yes.
And then just trying to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I have played vibrato for my flute players, and they have imitated me.
Yep. Yeah. I think sometimes they just pick it up just by hearing.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You could always have them tap their foot on the floor.
Yeah, they do. You're right.
Jaw or air vibrato on saxophone? I don't have the answer.
Somebody. Oh, I don't know. I also don't think that clarinet vibrato is something that should happen in a band room, but that's just me.
No, it's like
either.
I say it's like putting ketchup on birthday cake.
Yes.
If you do it on your own time, but please not in my room.
Good call. Someone asked earlier, I don't know if they're still here, I hope they are, what our favorite piece we've ever conducted or played with our groups.
That's so hard.
Y'all probably don't know this piece or this person, but I highly recommend checking it out because it's a grade 2, but it's got some it's got if you have a great flute player, she could have or he or she could have a wonderful time playing those solos. Brian Rhodes, Arkansas composer, a piece called Primitive Episodes. Super fun to conduct too, because it goes from these nice little fluty solo with a little bit of like a low brass accompaniment, and then just bang, 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 kind of jungle-y primitive sound, and then it calms down, and then it speeds up. Beautiful piece. That's one of my favorite pieces to conduct too.
We just had our 7th and 8th grade band concert last night, and we had 2 pieces that were semi-new to me, but oh my gosh, I had so much fun conducting them. One was a slower piece to honor our veterans called In Honor of the Fallen by Barry Milner. If you've never had your band play that piece, it's got some teeth to it. I believe it's somewhere sitting in the grade 2.5 range. There's a lot of layering, but oh my gosh, it's just beautiful. It starts with this very triumphant, proud kind of piece, and then you get to the middle, and it's almost like you experience the soldier falling from grace, knowing that they were disrespected when they came back to the United States. This more kind of touching on the Vietnam War vets who they were protested when they came back, and it's a very moving piece. And then at the end, it's kind of like, no, I did what was right for my country. And it goes back to this kind of more triumphant sounds. Very, very moving.
Miss Stefan, you're big on coming up with stories for the pieces. I like that.
Well, I try to, I kind of talk to my kids about it. And I do read the composer's notes, but I feel like I was a big reader in high school. And I'm trying to get back into reading again. And it's almost like you kind of have to read between the lines, like what is the intent that the composer isn't telling me.
Do you let your students be the ones to read this out at the concert? Do they explain the story?
I would have liked to have them do that. The first time we performed it was at a Veterans Day ceremony run by the VFW. So they did kind of, we're kind of there providing the music. But I think it more I had to speak at this last concert, which I hate doing because I want the students to do it because it's not about me, it's about the kids. But we were on a time crunch, so I was like, okay, we're gonna these first 4 pieces, this is what they're, they mean. I kind of quickly went through them, then we just played them. But yes, I do normally we have our kids present it. And then the second piece that we played, we played 5 pieces, which was awesome for 8th grade band. But Firebirds by Randall Standridge is more. Oh my God, that tune slaps, as the kids say. It is amazing. And
Firebird, you said it's called Firebirds?
Yes, there's this awesome time change. It's Igor Stravinsky's Firebird. But the time change between the 4/4 and 2/4, where it's this dark undertone, and oh my gosh, it's so cool.
Something about these Arkansas composers, you know what I'm saying?
I guess.
We just
what was the primitive one you said?
Primitive Episodes.
No, Garcia said that. Sorry.
Yeah, Primitive Episodes, Brian Rhodes.
Yeah, I gotta write that one down.
Brian
Can we get a shared Google Doc going?
That's a good idea.
Yeah, there's a great.
Put it by grades, and then put it by like events.
How many people? It sounds like we have a lot of beginning band teachers. Does anyone in this, out of the 9 of us, teach high school?
K-12. Yeah, I taught high school.
Used to be K-12
for like 4 years. Yeah.
That seems like such a typical thing of the Midwest, is to teach like 5 through 12 at least.
Yeah.
Because they don't care to pay for like it in the district.
Yeah.
Well,
I teach. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, when I first started, I'm originally from Montana, and so many of those schools, and there's a bunch of them in North Dakota too, they are just so small that my first school I taught at had 75 kids in it, pre-K through 12.
Oh, wow.
And so you're it. And I think that it was so rewarding. You definitely figured out real quick what you were really bad at and what you were good at. So it was a great first 4-year job for me.
I have input about why. I think it has something to do with, at least in the Midwest, like Illinois, for example, has over 2,100 high schools. Each high school has to have a director, at least one, And so for you to get at these jobs, like you're just going to be, okay, we got 1 or 2 people maybe for the whole district.
Yeah.
Jeez.
How many high schools again?
2155.
That's crazy.
Illinois just needs to consolidate. There's so many sports teams, so many different,
Yeah.
and that's where all the money's going. You've got so many different.
Wow.
I don't know if y'all follow the band mom. Funny enough, she's also from Arkansas, but she just commented, and this is a very important question. So if you are on this live, pay attention, take notes. She said,
You have all your students on this live, Garcia. That's why I'm saying this.
I'm seeing some of them. Yeah, I'm seeing some of them. She said, and she's from Arkansas too, by the way. She said, what are some of your favorite gifts to receive as band directors?
Ooh.
My favorite gift, I mean, we all love our gifts, so students don't take this personally. We love, obviously homemade gifts, bar none, you know, whatever, but we appreciate it. My coolest gift, 2 gifts that I've ever received, is somebody took one of my favorite Disney songs, found the record that it was on when it originated, and turned it into a clock.
Dude,
So
you have some
they
very
took the
creative.
record. Yep. And then one of my last private clarinet students found out that my favorite Star Wars character was Ahsoka Tano and got me a custom Garlinger baton that was in the Ahsoka Tano colors. Oh, it's my favorite baton.
You
I
have
think my
some
favorite
very
gifts
creative students.
have been homemade gifts. I had a student. I love it when they draw for me and they make art.
Yep.
Yes, I love
Or
that.
they do write me a letter.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We keep,
Yeah.
well, I keep like every letter, every card, every
I do
drawing.
too.
Like I will keep those with me
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah.
There,
And I
there's
have
a
whole
teacher.
binder.
Yeah. And it made me, like, as a parent, because I have 11 and 12-year-old right now, like I make them write letters to their teachers too, because
Yeah.
you know how much it means. And like, so.
There's a teacher at our school that like every year has this project where she asks them to write a letter for a teacher that they appreciate, whatever it is. And just because a teacher asks them to do it, I don't think it devalues it any. I think some of the kids don't realize that that's something you can do or probably should do, right?
Right.
And so those, I think, are the ones that are just, they hit you the hardest. Like, I do not walk by my office when I receive some of those letters because I'm probably weeping. But beautiful, beautiful gifts.
My seniors buy me pants. I have fluorescent green. I've got pink. I've got every color known to man.
Amazing.
And they just,
Yeah.
they secretly ask my wife. She's our middle school choir director. So we share an office every other day. But they ask her sneakily, and it started 2 years ago, and they have just decided that that's going to be the perpetual
That's the
gift
most-
every year.
That's the most
Hey,
band
they're-
student gift I could ever think of.
They're comfy. I'll wear them.
I had a student make a shirt for me, and it was specific to our low brass class. It had to have been low brass. And it has I think it has low brass on it. I haven't worn it in a while. It has low brass on it, and it says, "I do not have ducks in a row. I have squirrels at a rave because I teach low brass."
Oh, that's good.
My band director drinks coffee every day.
Yep.
Yeah. We all
I
do.
was going to say, I don't need any more mugs. I've got plenty of mugs, but I do like the consumable things. Like if you drink coffee every day, I brew it every morning in the band room. You could go buy me a $3 bag of coffee from the store instead of like
$3? What are you talking about? Coffee is not $3, Kneisel. It's
Okay.
like $25 right
What's
now.
this knockoff?
Well, I mean, I'm
Buying
drinking really
coffee?
low quality stuff
Come
because
on
my
now.
students don't love me enough. But
He's drinking Maxwell House.
Coffee prices
I've got a
are out
Maxwell
the
House.
wazoo right now.
Hey, one of
Making the beans themselves.
I was gonna say the other thing that I really like letters, custom things. Like someone like 3D printed me a flute. It was like really cool. Just anything that's so unique that you're gonna remember. Like I'm not gonna forget that.
Yeah.
Ornaments. I love an ornament
Yes. Love
With
with the
ornaments.
name on it, written on it. So then I can put
Beautiful.
it on my band tree. Yep.
My other favorites are when families travel and then they bring you back something. Like I had a kid, they went to, I'm trying to think, they went to like Belize or something, and they brought me back an instrument made in Belize. And I was like, are you sure? Like, I just kept looking at it like, are you sure you don't want it? They're like, oh no, we every family member got their own instrument, and I had to bring you one as well. And I was like,
Great.
yes.
Mags says her class got her band director a Lowe's bucket full of Reese's.
Whoa,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
One of my,
As a Reese fan, I clap to that.
Reese's or Reese's?
one of my 8th grade students, he was in 5th grade. He got me a custom Darth Vader T-shirt where it was Darth Vader playing a saxophone on it.
Nice. Nice.
Cool.
Reese's. Sorry.
Does anyone say Reese's here?
Reese's.
Reese's.
I'm sorry.
Reese's.
I'm so close to Hershey. You would think I would
I
get
said
this
Reese.
right.
I've always thought it was Reese's, so my
Yeah.
bad.
That's what it's a very controversial topic,
It is.
and I always like to see whether I'm in the majority or the minority.
I know
say
I'm
Reese's.
saying it wrong, but I keep saying it wrong.
I've got another really good one. If you want to get your band director like a really big one, you all chip in. A custom made baton is
Yes.
so cool.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! But we got our band director once in high school. We went to like the not Midwest, but the local one in our state. We got him like a 4-foot baton just for jokes. And you just,
Hey, I had a kid make me one in Metal Shop. He
Nice.
sneakily measured all of my stuff. It was pretty good. So that was the opener that year. I conducted the first song with it.
Was it
It was very
balanced?
heavy metal. No,
Oh,
but it was a great arm workout. And we opened, it was Crush, Robert W. Smith Crush.
Oh.
It was a great song to have a heavy metal baton. We lost about 30 clicks by the end, and I probably about 5 pounds, but it was awesome.
The chat wants us to go back to our favorite pieces, so I'll share. It's not necessarily my favorite, as in like the band played it the best, or it wasn't anything like that. It was kind of like my favorite because it was hard for me to do. Like, and I always like a good challenge. So when I was teaching high school band, we did this this piece is Santa Fe Saga by Martin Gold. It's a very, very hard piece. And I was the assistant conductor for an adult wind band at that time when I was in Virginia. And that piece was crazy. But it was like a community adult wind band, but we had like all state, like high school players in it. And I just remembered my bass clarinetist, who I actually personally taught to. She just like looked at me and was like, this piece is crazy. And so like I was learning it for me to conduct it, but also like trying to teach it to her. And I think the combination of like that difficulty of being able to articulate in a way she can understand playing this piece, and for me to like lead the ensemble on such a high demanding piece. At the end, the whole band look at each other, like kids, adults, and we just like look at each other and say, we did it. Like that piece was crazy.
Awesome.
I have no idea why I programmed that piece. Probably because it was a theme about like Spanish music or something, but
And what was it called again?
Santa Fe Saga by Martin Gold. It's like way up there. It's probably like a 6 or a 5, but
That's
yeah,
cool.
it's way up there. But that was
I'm gonna
probably
listen to it then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've learned never to play over a 3 for my program, but that's a West Virginia 3. So a West Virginia 3 for other states is probably more like a 2. So
Can I just like talk about that for a minute? Okay, so in Virginia, like everything is graded. Like Virginia, and when I was in, because my knowledge is Virginia, everything is graded, and you submit it to VBODA, and they grade it, right? When I moved to Maine, the first thing I asked was like, "Where is your list?"
Where's the list?
Like, yeah, where's the list? And you guys didn't have one, and I was freaking out. I was like, "What do you mean?" Like, so like this is maybe I should make my own episode about this. Like,
You should
have
start the
learned-
list.
Yeah, I have learned a lot, like the difference between equity and inequity about like music programs from like a city school to a rural school, and from a well-funded state for like Virginia to
Wow.
Maine. It's very different. It's very different, but you make your program what you want to be in. My program is getting there. It's more likely resembling of what I'm accustomed to. But for the kids, they don't know any different. They're just there to play. They just there to play, and they love it, and they have a lot of pride in all the things we've been able to do. Like I just recently got a grant for the students because 47% of my band use school instruments. But yeah, so I just wanted to like talk about that for a second. Like, you don't have a list.
Yeah, that is, I've learned over the years that so much of what at least West Virginia does, is almost all volunteer. Like the people who run all of our things, no one's getting paid for it. And if they are getting paid for it, it's very, very little. Like the person who keeps up with our graded music list, that's an unpaid job. And they do a great job with it every single year. The people who run solo and ensemble in our state, they don't get paid a penny for that. You know, like all of it is our blood, sweat, and tears because we do what's best for our kids and our students, and you know we provide opportunities. And it's when people sit back and decide, oh, you know, I'm not going to get paid for that or something, that's when, or I'm not getting paid enough or something. That's when the students start, you know, hurting in that situation. So, you know, it's stepping up and being a leader in that situation is something that every state needs, I think. So,
hey, shout out Mr. Trevino's in the chat.
oh,
I think I saw Mr. Henry's Music World too. I just did his 6/7 rap in elementary music.
Oh my God.
It's hilarious if you
the
need that.
flying baton is here too. We've got another flying baton. We got a Virginia guy here.
Yeah.
Ooh, man, I've been loving his new stuff.
It was
He
the
has a
67th
podcast.
day of school here today, so it was quite hilarious.
We had our 67th day last week, I think. I don't know. The kids
I had a student ask me when it was and why we weren't celebrating because I think she saw another school on TikTok celebrating their 67th day of school, and I'm like,
Just say, oh, we started a day before them.
Yeah.
I saw another question in the chat, and I'm a woodwinds teacher specifically in my school. I teach all of them, but somebody just said, does anybody have any tips for getting a clearer tone on oboe and being able to play quieter? Anybody oboe players here?
Usually the reed. All starts
The
with
reed.
read.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for
And
me,
not overblowing.
because I have oboes and bassoons, oh my gosh, you guys, are you ready? I have 8 oboes in my beginning band. Oh. And 2 bassoons, so we're good there. But my tip is always for getting a better sound is listening to other people play.
Imitating.
Because you can't be a better player without listening to professionals and everything else. The other thing too that I have is, and you have to be careful to not be critical of yourself, is record yourself playing and then wait like a month to listen to it and then go, okay, now I'm going to record myself now and listen to what I was. You're going to hear the difference. But a lot of it is practicing long tones and listening to professionals. And then I had somebody just say bass clarinet. Okay, bass clarinet's a doozy. Miss Hazlitt, do you have any tips for bass clarinet? I had to go from clarinet to bass clarinet wind ensemble, and I am traumatized forever.
when I had to do 1 semester of wind ensemble on bass clarinet in college against my will. I did not want to, which is weird because I went from clarinet to bari sax in high school. So why I would like bari sax and not like bass clarinet doesn't really compute in my brain, but you know, that's personal opinion. Tips for switching from clarinet to bass clarinet. Other than, well, embouchure.
Open your teeth.
Yeah.
Yep, open your teeth.
Everything needs to become larger. The instrument is larger. Your embouchure inside of your mouth, everything needs to become bigger. For me, my biggest problem was like wanting to bite down with the same force that I would bite down on a B flat clarinet, on a bass clarinet. It's not going to work.
No.
It's not this big. It's this big. Like, it's just very different. It feels different. And it seems like my theme of the night is tension. Getting rid of that tension in the embouchure was really a big learning curve for me. It took a long time. But by the end, I kind of got there. I'm still not very great at bass clarinet, but
Thank you. Thank you so much for those tips.
That's good.
We've got 2 other people trying to get in. So if there's any,
I'm on my way out. This has been fun, though. Do it again sometime, okay?
Greg,
Greg,
rise
coming.
on,
Got a
keep
little girl I
giving
gotta
us the
take care of.
tips.
Yeah.
Bye, Greg.
Yes, sir, please.
Go follow
Yeah.
Greg, guys. If you're not following Greg, go follow him. All right.
Yes,
Never
folks.
skip a Mr. Bergman video.
Yeah,
No,
right.
never.
Never skip.
Folks,
All
I'm
right.
going to take
I
off
have
to...
to hop off and get ready for a Minneapolis
Okay.
trip. My daughter, we're taking her to Phantom of the Opera for her birthday. So
Fun. Happy
I know, we're so
birthday.
Exciting.
yes. So thank
thank
you
you
so
for
much,
joining
Miss
us.
Ellen, for inviting me.
Absolutely. We'll have to do it again.
Yes, for sure.
We'll see you later.
See ya.
I'm taking off
also-
too, guys. I'm taking off too. Lovely talking to all of you. We'll talk soon. I hope I
Bye,
see all
Mr.
of you at Midwest.
Garcia. Bye,
See ya.
Mrs.
Me
Steffen.
too. Bye, everybody. This was so wonderful. Have a great night.
Yes, thank you
Nice.
guys. I'm
Oh,
gonna
cool.
add
We got
some
Mr.
more
Stimmy
people.
here.
Yep, Mr. Stimson.
Hello.
Excellent. Joining us. Hello, Mr. Naismith.
Mr. Nesmith.
Nesmith.
Yes,
Wow.
like
The
Nestle
third
Crunch.
option.
I'm so sorry I said it wrong in my video.
Hey, it's all good. My assistant principal has been saying it wrong for 3 years, and after 2 years, I just stopped correcting her. She says Neesmith, and I'm like, it's Nesmith, and she's like, oh yeah, I got you. Next day, it's right back to the other one.
Oh my gosh. Let's get
No
Mr.
worries.
Henry in here.
Mr. Nesmith, I have
Let's
to say,
go.
Nesmith.
watching
Wow, I would have never gotten that. Huh.
watching your videos, I'm loving your content. Like, your stuff is fantastic, and I can tell just by listening to you talk about music that you are a great musician. So very much appreciate everything that you're doing.
Well, he hasn't said that to any of us tonight. So, all right.
I
Thank you
instantly
very
noticed.
much.
I was like,
Hey.
high quality content, well recorded, well spoken. Didn't
Yeah.
feel like, it's like, man, it took me years to feel like that. Like,
And then I'm like, hey, here's what a clarinet mouthpiece sounds like on a trumpet.
All right.
Well, I did have a podcast for the last 5 years. I think that was a good warm up. But I, way back in the day, and this is going back to my super cringe 20s. But I did have a marimba YouTube channel for a while, starting in 2009, I think. And I was like probably the first or second person to put like 4 mallet like tutorials on YouTube. Now they're extremely cringy, and there's a lot of very unique humor choices in those videos. So if you want to check those out, you can. But I always find it like really weird to talk to a camera by myself, right? Because I'm like definitely an extrovert. I do fine in front of like 300 kids, but then it's just like you and a camera, and I don't know, it feels weird. Does anybody else feel that way? Like when you're recording stuff?
Yeah,
That's why I haven't done any of that yet.
I've gotten pretty used to it, but at first, yeah, it was a little weird. It's more weird when like someone's walking by my classroom and I'm like dressed up in something. And so we've got some more states here. So we
Virginia
got
represent.
Virginia now, right? We've got Virginia, so let's add Virginia here. And Stimmy, you're in Michigan, right?
I'm in the wonderful Mitten. Yep.
Okay. And Mr. Henry, you're in West Virginia like me, right?
Yes, I am.
Yes. All right. Michigan. We got 2 parts here. I got to make sure I color both of them here.
Dude, so I'm definitely an introvert, but like when I'm in front of my students, I turn it on, and then if I'm in front of the camera, I turn it on. But if I'm sitting at a table with people like at lunch, I'm just like silent. I'm just sitting there,
I pretty much talk all the time. I'm a chatterbox nonstop. And when I was like a teacher, and I didn't, and I was also a mom. Like I'm still a mom, but like when my kids were really young, so I didn't do anything other than teach and mom. Like I would just barf words to anyone that would hear me, because I had an infant. Infants that don't talk back to you, and like a husband who's sort of introverted, and like anyone that could talk to me, I would just talk nonstop because I didn't have anything. And now I actually have a life, more of a life now. But
I think that talking goes with, I'm around kids all day, so when I'm around adults, I like to talk too, because I need to hear more than 6, 7, and hear more than farting and things like that in my middle school classroom. So I like to talk a lot.
now, Mr. Stimmy, do you just teach middle school, or do you do middle and high school?
I do 6th, 7th, and 8th grade band. I have a jazz band, and then I'm an assistant with the high school marching band. But, I keep plenty busy with my middle schoolers.
Right. And Mr. Naismith,
Nesmith.
Nesmith.
Oh,
Man, gosh.
What are these? I'm
Lilia.
just gonna change it to Smith because like that's so much easier. It's so much easier.
Did your wife sign up for that too?
I
Like,
know. Yeah,
oh.
and like she had a very normal last name of Lily, and I'm like, I'm sorry you married into this. Like, yeah.
Nesmith.
Sorry, what was you were gonna ask a question? I'm so sorry.
You're just middle school, right?
Yeah, I used to do high school, but I really, really like middle school. I actually kind of got into middle school by accident, sort of. Um, and it's a long story, and I'll have to tell the whole thing. But basically, I started teaching right around the time the Great Recession was happening. And at the time, I was a high school math teacher because there was no band jobs open, like in a 100-mile radius. So I was a high school math teacher, and the Great Recession hit, and our whole county went on a hiring freeze. And they were like, okay, if anybody leaves or retires or gets fired, we're not allowed to hire anybody, so we just have to reshuffle. And the middle school math teacher left, and they're like, cool, you're going. And I was like, I don't really want to go. They're like, guess what? You're going. I was like, all right, fine. And then I got to the middle school and I absolutely loved it. I was like, oh man, this is great. So when I started teaching band, I knew I wanted to do middle school band. I did do high school band for 1 year, but I was like, I miss middle school so much. I have to go back and do that.
Yeah, I took my job. I started as a high school. Actually, I was K-12. I was everything. And then I hired in for 1 year at my job I've been at now for 25 because I hated middle school. Like, could not stand to be around them. I was taught to be a high school band director. I graduated in 1999, and my school did not do a good job preparing me to deal with middle schoolers. But I've been a dad for 17 years now, and that's really helped transition.
No one helps you, prepares you for middle school.
No.
But I
My
feel like
student
I still
teacher-
remember being a middle schooler.
Yeah.
Like,
My student teacher struggles with that. He's like, man, they teach me how to teach a wind ensemble and not how to pick. I mean, I think today that we have a lot better music to pick with Sambridge and all of his people. It's so much better than when I came out when,
It's just Michael Story and Michael Sweeney and Robert W. Smith, the S's, Swearingen.
Exactly. Swearingen. Yep, that was a big one. And I was like,
S composers. Mr.
and I called it
Henry,
a little,
you're just middle school, right?
yeah.
So my primary school, it's K-8, and my second school, it's K-4.
Wow.
But I was the assistant at the high school, but marching season's over, so I don't have to worry about those obligations. So my schedule is kind of laid back a little bit.
Nice. Yeah, I taught high school for 3 years. I was an assistant, a full-time assistant, because the school had like 1,500 kids. It was a massive program. And then we actually built another high school in our county. And I thought I wanted to stay being a high school band director. I was like, this is where it's at. I'm having so much fun. I was like 25 and just living what I thought was the dream. But then I wasn't going to get a head job. I was going to end up staying an assistant. And I really wanted my own show, my own gig, making my own decisions. So there's a middle school opening up, and I was like, all right, you know what? I'm just going to teach middle school for a while and see what it's like. And then I was like, I'm never leaving. This is amazing. I love every moment of this. So I don't think I'll ever go back to high school.
I think my ideal job would be if I just teach like first and second year beginner band, like method book, and that intermediate, if I actually had like sectional time and could work with them and like a real class structure, I would love teaching that class age group all the time. Just like that first progression of here's your brand new instrument. Now we're developing all these skills before you get too old and they're like, either they're going to be a pro or they're going to give up.
Mm-hmm.
How many of you have help in your room? I mean, I fly solo except for a student teacher. So I think that's a hard thing too when you're talking about like having that sectional time and everything. I train my kids to do it, but it's difficult.
Mm-hmm. This is the first year that we had a percussion instructor be in my 7th, 8th grade band class. But it's not because we hired him. It's because he was our Spanish teacher that also had percussion background. And my class size was getting too big. And they just told him to go to my 7th, 8th grade band class.
Yeah.
So I just a little short snippet is when I came to this band program, band was not a class. It was like put into this like random time between like lunch and like recess or something. And it wasn't until last year through Advocacy that I ended up having not only a class, but it be a graded class and all year, like all like how it should be. But so like they were not like the whole schedule got changed so that band was it catered to band, which you never hear that really in schools.
Well, you have to make the schedule around the band, and like if
we're the biggest in numbers
to understand that.
Yeah,
and like I finally did it, but the principal I came into, she knew how to do it, and she always would set the band up and then make the schedule around it. And it took a couple principals from then to like get it back to that. But yeah, you're exactly right. You have to build it around a band.
Yeah. So what ended up happening though is that the other fine arts teachers, they now have a 0 period, that block I have band. And that's how I was able to get the Spanish teacher to teach because he didn't have a class at that time. But yeah, I forgot why I shared that, but I shared that. Yeah.
Hey,
so I just got back from
if you were just joining us, make sure that you are following all of these creators because they all make music content and band director content and band content, and they all play instruments. So please just check out all of these channels because they're cool. They get to do the coolest job in the world, just like I do. Now, who was going to say something? I missed.
I was going to say something about scheduling.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I posted a video a couple days ago of some of my, 6th grade clarinet players playing some Frosty the Snowman. And I got a lot of really nice comments. And I also got a lot of people who were like, I don't know, I think upset that maybe their schedule isn't very good. And I just got back from our Virginia music conference, VMEA, and just talking with other directors, like it is wild how many different scheduling options there are. Like there's some people, even in my own district, there's some people that have band every day for 90 minutes, but only for one semester. There's some people that do 90 every other day. There's some people that do 45 every day, which is what we do. There's some that do 45 every other day. There's one that does 30 minutes every other day, which sounds terrible. But my former student teacher, who just got her first band job this past school year, she had band once a week because the principal decided that they wanted to do a field trip every week with 8th grade. I don't even know how that works, by the way. Every single week a field trip with 8th grade. So they did it during elective time. So she only had band once a week. And I was like, what do you do with once a week? Like, I mean, can you really have like band as we know band with once a week, or is it more just like a exploratory? Here's kind of how things work. But it just doesn't seem like a lot of time.
Develop a skill, but Mr. Kneisel can tell you all about meeting twice a week because that's what his schedule is right now.
We've got 30 minutes twice a week. I'm the only director, K-12, and the middle school situation is abysmal. It just doesn't work. And I think that if I was using some sort of make music, smart music, that kind of stuff, and I could have a solid grading and support, I could make it work. But I'm in ungraded class right now.
Yeah. So like I like to think I'm like an advocacy queen because like everything that you said was like the program that I had, and then I just kept like pushing it until I think during the pandemic, I think my school was the only school in the whole state of Maine that actually was having band.
Wow.
Yeah. And but my point to that is the whole sectional thing, like you were talking, Mr. Nesmith. Are you still in Stanton?
Yes.
Yeah, we met long time ago, really long time ago.
Oh, fabulous!
But it's okay. I was like a first 3 years of teacher. I'm from Fredericksburg, Virginia.
Yeah,
District 15. But anyways, like the whole that whole thing is like unequitable sometimes because like the whole like maybe once a week, like especially for beginning band, like you need so much face time with those kids that in the fundamentals that like they can't really get the big picture until they get that time. So I definitely feel for you for that one. There's someone in the chat who said they only meet band 3 times a month. I'm pretty sure if you're still in the chat, I was trying to find it earlier. Tell us your situation, because when I saw that, I was like, wait a minute, how do you have band?
I
three
kind of have
times
that
a month?
situation for choir. They said, hey, instead of doing 15 minutes before school 5 days a week, let's just have it during the school day, which is great, but it'll be once a week at the end of the last hour during study hall. And so it's on Friday, last hour during study hall. And so you might meet 3 times a month if you're lucky, and the other times the kids are like, hey, I got work to do. I'm not doing it over the weekend.
Jeez. I had choir in middle school, like during lunch.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like you just left lunch early and then you went and did choir a couple times a week. And we sang. We didn't even read music. We just sang like words.
Yeah.
You know.
My wife talks about that. My wife, when she was in middle school, they had pull-out sessions, and like she's like, I wouldn't go because I didn't want to miss science. And so we're pretty lucky in my school district. We have it every day for about 58 minutes. So I see my students. My beginners, though, this is my weird situation. We test them at the beginning of the school year. So they just drop kids in a class, and I get what I get with instrumentation. And then in 7th grade, I try to set them up equally, but we have core classes that are like for kids who are failing math or failing English, that they pull them and doubled them. So, you know, a kid who hates math, we're going to put them in 2 math classes a day. And so it messes with what we can do. Like a lot of people are like, why don't you have a woodwind and a brass and percussion? We could never do that here, but at least I get to see them every day for a full hour, which is very beneficial.
Every day, that's amazing.
Yeah, so I'm really lucky, and like I said, this school district is great. I will retire here. Like I was never going to live where I taught because of how, like, I love my high school band director, but we tortured him. Like TPD's house, and we're always over there. Yeah. And I live in a subdivision less than a mile from my school, and like I've had babysitters that were my students, and I just love it. So I'm very fortunate here.
Mr. Morgan, you've got someone in the chat who's a fan, I think.
Hayden?
Oh,
a lot of exclamation points.
Yeah.
Yes. I've got a couple.
Yeah, you guys can go follow all these band creators. They're going to teach you a thing or two about your instruments or about being in band, or and my husband, who's been moderating, he sent me a screenshot of someone who said, "Is this the band director cult?"
Right.
Someone said Avengers Assemble.
That was funny.
Yeah, so if anybody wants to moderate, feel
Oh yeah, if you want to add me as a moderator, there's sometimes I can catch a comment that's like, "Can you stop spamming?" I can put them in timeout for 5 minutes.
Right. I don't know.
I love doing that too, because then they'll come back and they'll be like, "You put me in timeout." It's like, I gave you a warning. I told you not to spam the chat, and you kept doing it. It's just like in class, like consequences,
SOPs.
follow through.
Right.
Yeah.
Are you watching on another channel, Mr. Kneisel?
Watching on it.
Are you like on it? Because I saw you as another, like, you were on, but you were also like, I don't know.
You were in the chat. Like he was just. You can just type.
Yeah, you can
like,
type in the chat if you want to add some things in.
There we go. Okay. I am. Should we let Mr. Trevino in? He's not a band director.
Ooh, we're very exclusive here.
Or should we let him in?
We got 2 spots open.
Yep,
okay, Mr. Trevino, we'll let you in. He says he teaches saxophone, so
Nice.
Yeah, he does play some saxophone content. I've seen that.
Yep.
Sorry for your loss,
everybody.
There he is.
Now, I will say, Mr. Trevino is the one to ask if you need any. I believe it's like all of the percussion, mallet bells stuff. Don't you have like those traveling Grammy-winning groups, right?
Yeah, that's me. That's my kids, man. I was just in Virginia.
EMEA? Were you at Virginia Music Educators? Did I see something like that?
I was. Everybody was so nice. It was awesome.
Virginia represent.
It was there in Norfolk. Yeah, I presented 2 sessions. It was really cool.
Oh, I was down for Friday. What sessions did you present?
I did. It was called Skills and Thrills, using like games to review musical concepts, and then I did one called Recorder Revival, using popular music with Recorder, and it was really cool. Again, everybody was just so nice. I had never been to Virginia before.
So did you, you're in Texas, right?
Yeah, I'm in Texas. Marked it off the list.
So like, what brought you to Virginia to present? Did you get invited, or did you sign up to come? Or
no, I was invited.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it was really cool. One of the vendors, Perry Poll, they have me as a presenter. Sorry, my vision's really weird, but yeah, it was really awesome. Like, so I got to help them tear down the booth a little bit. I didn't have to, but I wanted to. So, and yeah. So I've been teaching private saxophone lessons for about like 22 years, middle school and high school kids. So it's a lot of fun.
So, Mr. Charlie.
Yes. Okay, on my band hoodie, it says Nesquik on it.
That will help. Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, that really locks it in. Like my band, the choir teacher at my school, her last name was Fluck, and she always said "Fluck like book," and that helped me. So when you're in Virginia, and VMEA is now like
yeah, it was last week.
but that's so early. Like, do you have all-state band then?
All-state band is in April. Yeah, typically.
So our VMEA, our WVMEA is like when all the all-states happen in March.
Yeah, Pennsylvania's the same way.
Yeah, Maine does
April.
that too.
Ours is in January.
Okay.
Yeah.
In Michigan in January?
I know. We used to. Okay, so I'm a big U of M not fan. I went to Michigan State. I'm a Spartan through and through. But I moved down there, and I was so excited because it used to be at Michigan, at University of Michigan. But the thing that was horrible is we had to walk outside in the Ann Arbor Arctic winds from building to building. But so they moved up to Grand Rapids here, and it's all kind of self-contained. All the buildings there are connected, so you can just go in the skywalks to get to everywhere. So it's awesome. Not horrible. The drive is horrible to get there, but everything else is really, really fun with it.
Oh, that's good. And it's in January. Well, I got invited to present at Florida Music Educators Conference. So I'll be there in Tampa in January.
What are you presenting on?
I'm presenting on beginning band and like using the Essential Elements book and beginning band. It's through Hal. It's sponsored through Hal Leonard. So, but yeah, I'm really excited to do it. And to go to Tampa in January.
Is that what you're presenting in March?
I'm presenting a very similar thing at WVMEA, but it's more taking you from the first note in beginning band to your first concert.
Nice.
So like from first note to first concert, and you know how to get there. So
how cool!
Yeah, I'm excited. I love working with student teachers and mentoring like people. Like to me, that is like where I am in my career. Is like I love teaching still, but I really love talking to people who want to be band directors. Yes, that's my high.
I feel like I'm past that time to do a PhD, so I love the student teachers and all that. And I'm presenting at ours about Flat. I don't know if any of you guys use Flat.
Oh,
Flat.io. I love it. I live by
yeah.
it. So I'm presenting on that one to gather student data. But yeah, I feel the same as you. Like I finished my master's and we had my son. And here in Michigan, I'd had to take a 3-year sabbatical, and they only offer me a 2 in my building. So I guess it's just professional stuff now.
How many years have you been teaching, Mr. Simpson?
This is my 27th year.
Wow.
Yep.
Bravo.
Yes, I've got about 12 more to go, so I can get my daughter through college. So I'll be here for a while.
You don't have any sort of what's it called?
I don't have health insurance. That really, if I retire, so I love my job.
A pension? You don't have a pension?
I do. I have a little bit of a pension because in our state we became right to work. I don't know if you guys are all right to work states, but we are, and so the pension went away after a certain amount of time because of our governor. Not to go political on it, but so now we have like 403Bs and stuff like that we feed into. But I love my job, and I need the insurance, like I think we all would. I had a kidney transplant 6 years ago, so I need to keep up with that. And then my whole family has needs that way, so I like it. I live a mile from here, and it's still fun.
Wow.
Like, teaching band is still just fun. So I've got at least 12 years left of me easily.
Yeah, we can retire at 30 years with at
We can
55 years old with 30 years fully vested.
I think my wife would kill me if I did that.
I know.
Like,
I say I have 9 more years after this year, but I don't know what life will be like in
I'm
9
50
years.
and I can't imagine retiring in 5 years. Like, what would I do? I always told my wife I would be a good house husband, and then COVID hit, and I would be a horrible house husband. Like, I would get so bored out of my mind. So
I love being a stay-at-home dad. It's great.
I love my kids, but they're going away. Like, I have a son graduating, and my daughter is a freshman in high school, so they're going to be going soon. So I'll just work. I love it. Kids are great, and I've been in this community forever, so it's just a lot of fun to teach.
Yeah, I've been in the same district my whole career as well, and I live in the community. I live in the community I teach in, so
And I'm getting all the children of people I've taught before,
Oh.
which is fun, scary but fun.
All right, check it out. I've been at my current school for 12 years. Every single year, I have had a member of one particular family in my band.
Yep.
And I'm on number 6 of 7. Wow. So yeah, I've had
That's a lot of children.
Oh yeah, 7 kids.
Good old
and
Catholic family
12
there.
years. I've always
Mormon
had
or
at least
Catholic?
one. Neither. Episcopalian, actually.
Wow.
Okay.
Just
We have a
Yeah.
lot of those around here.
I have the Mormons, man. They keep coming.
have a lot of those.
You think that we are right next to Nauvoo, Illinois, so that's the like the big mecca of the Latter-day Saints.
Oh yeah. Well, I did that with a class I started. Their youngest was a senior, so he left during COVID. But I had their family for one every year for at least 12 or 13 years. Same. It's crazy how it happens. I saw. So is everybody in either Central Time or Eastern Time?
Yeah.
Eastern. Yeah.
No one's in Mountain Time. Does Mountain Time exists? That exists,
No.
right?
That's like
No?
Colorado.
It's like one state.
Yeah, I think it's Colorado.
Mr. Kreisel's kids, hush.
I know, right? How inconsiderate. That's
I'm
little
gonna put my
Jimmy.
teacher voice on you.
Mr. Kneisel mentioned Mr. Henry's Music World was on here.
Oh,
and
was that?
I always get, like, people get confused, like, oh, you make all those videos on recorders and all those little tips, and I'm like, no, that's not me. Wrong.
It
Mr.
only said the
Henry.
first snippet. It said Mr. Henry. I couldn't see the rest of it. I was like, oh wow, I know that name.
Every time I show it to my kids, they're like, is that you? I'm like, no, there's no relation here at all. And
You
they're
need
like,
a unique, hard to pronounce name like Mr. Kneisel and Mr. Nesmith.
I know.
Yes. Oh my gosh, the amount of people like standing you in my, like when I was promoting the other groups, they were like, where's Mr. Kneisel? What about Mr. Kneisel? And all the different spellings of Kneisel.
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
My favorite was like
Nickel.
Mr. Kniezel, like Evil Kniezel, like that one came up. I was like, oh, this is great.
My poor wife, she inherited that name and she can't.
Oh,
Yeah. I don't envy you and your last name. Do you have
I'm
any
seeing
tips?
a lot of saxophone questions
Yeah,
in
there's
the
a ton.
chat.
There's always so many. People just spam the chat. They're like, tuba tips, saxophone tips, clarinet. Yeah, we know you all play every instrument. Like we try to make videos for a lot of different scenarios.
Now, somebody says, do you have any tips? I play a lot of instruments and want to be a band teacher. So, I mean, you're on the right track if you're already playing all those instruments.
Yeah. Volunteer with your lower bands or middle school bands. Going in.
Yeah, if you can sit in with a group and play a new instrument at like a beginner level, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We also have
community
another
bands.
We have another band director in the chat, PMAC, and he says he's taught a long time and he might go to the dark side to end his career. And, you know, I mean, we do know administrators get paid more money, but is it worth it?
I would.
PMAC, is it worth it?
I wouldn't do it.
So I actually have my master's degree in administration, and I had to do several internships to get that degree. that was several years ago, and I'm still teaching middle school band.
Yeah.
Um,
I had a
no,
hot minute
it's
where
crazy because like, okay, so I had to sit on these school board meetings, right? And oh my God, it's just so, and this was like in 2022, 2021. So it's like during all the COVID like measures and stuff.
Yeah.
And it was crazy sitting in these school board meetings, and you'd have parent A come up and like yell at the school board, berate the school board because they're not doing enough to protect the kids, they're not masking enough, they're not distancing enough. And then immediately person B would come up and then yell at the school board and berate the school board saying COVID is a hoax, what are you doing? You're hurting all of our kids by doing all this masking. And it was just like a nonstop stream of everyone just being unhappy at any decision being made. And I was like, man, like we teach like the best kids in the school as band teachers, right? We absolutely teach the best kids in the school. And if there's like a really serious problem, I'm going to call the administrator to come help out with that problem. And I was like, man, if that was the only thing I did all day, you know,
Right.
I mean, I just think it would be hard to like stay positive. And that's why like I love my administrative team. I don't know how they do it. They deal with so much crazy stuff. But to like have that be your whole day without getting to sit down and like make beautiful music, you know, with kids who are amazing. Like I don't know if I have the mental fortitude to keep my positivity if that were my daily job. You know?
Yeah, you'd have to pay me $1 million.
I don't even think the pay would be good enough for it. Like, you just can't turn it off. Like, you cannot get out of that role even at home.
There's a point
you're on
where
the clock, man. You're on the clock. If some kind of crazy social media thing goes down at 11 p.m., you're getting the phone call from the superintendent. You know, like you are on the clock 24 hours a day.
Hey, there's always a number that will make it worth it for me. So
I don't know if it's worth my sanity. If you guys aren't following all of these creators, please go and follow all of these amazing music creators, band creators, even Mr. Trevino. I'll give him a little band creatorness right now, since he teaches saxophone. But so how many, I'm curious, what are our numbers in our school? So if we're teaching middle school, I think we're all middle school teachers here. So how many students do you have in your middle school versus how many are in your band? So I have like 620 in my school and I have about 145 in the band.
That's great.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I have about 720 in my school, and I think 165 is where I'm at with mine.
So my school is a rural school, and it's a K-8 school, but there's only like 50-something middle schoolers in the school. So last year I had 13. This year I have 24.
That's great.
Yeah,
that's sweet.
I'm also in a rural school. The school is 6 through 8. It's 400 students. And I think we have like 60 in the band.
That's good, actually. That's really good numbers.
We have like 280-ish kids in the school, 6 through 8, and we have about 80 in the band.
PMAC says he's got 160 total kids, and he has 113 of them in the band.
Wow.
What?
Nice.
That's incredible.
Oh, no, he runs 113 of them.
What do you
Maybe,
guys...
I think it's we, so maybe he's got another director that he works with. Sorry to interrupt.
I got a buddy of mine that teaches in Maryland at a private school, and he always boasts that he has 100% of the school in band, but the whole school has to take it.
Has to take it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually worked at a school a private school in North Carolina that did that. Every 6th grader had to be in either band or chorus. Like that was a thing.
Chris, how about you? What are your stats?
So I only do 7th and 8th grade at our middle school and then our high school. But 7th and 8th grade, we have about 240 between those two grades, and I've got 75 in my combined 7th and 8th grade band.
Pretty good.
So, and then we march some of them. We let the 8th graders march into our marching band. So I had 30 8th graders march up this year. So it's a fun time.
They don't get tired of it.
They don't get tired of it. Do I get tired of some things? Yes. So
yes, I don't blame
like
you.
some of them in the chat right now. Connor.
That's also what would keep me from teaching high school is marching band. I loved doing it, and then I loved teaching it the first 3 years, and then I was like, no, I don't like teaching this. Actually, like
That's
this
what I
is
miss most.
Yeah.
this is
I
hard.
love the marching
It's so hard to teach marching band, and I'm not very good at it. I feel like I need to leave it to someone who like actually A, enjoys it, and B, is good at it.
I'm thankful. We're a good old Friday night football band.
Yep,
we
we are
have
too.
as much fun as we can. We understand it's never going to be perfect, but we've kind of changed our mentality of like for Friday nights, we have to have the Holy Trinity there. You have to have band, cheer, and football, or it doesn't feel right. And that over the last couple of years, like that has really solidified, like, yes, it's community service, but let's also go have a lot of fun. And if a kid does something stupid on the field and they celebrate and then a play gets called back, we roast them a little bit from the stands. So I don't know, it's a necessary evil at times, but it can be fun. It's just understanding that not everyone's going to be sending their groups to BOA.
Yep.
Right.
So,
yeah.
actually-
I couldn't do the competitive marching band stuff, but Mr. Naismith.
Nesmith.
You marched Crossman, didn't you?
Oh yeah. Oh man, I have my Crossman shrine. I don't know. Sorry, on my studio wall over here. I did the Crossman 50th alumni corps last year.
Nice.
San Antonio, baby.
Yeah, dude, it was so fun. But yeah, I did March Crossman in 2004. Dating myself a little bit. It was a good time.
Dating yourself. Come on.
And I don't think I answered the program size question. Actually,
go ahead.
I have a video in the works right now talking specifically about program size and different ways that it can and can't affect your program. I took some data recently from the bands that got invited to play at VMEA, and Virginia has it has some areas that are the wealthiest areas in the country, and it has some areas that are like the poorest areas in the country. It's pretty diverse. But I looked back for 5 years of bands that have been invited to play at VMEA, specifically middle school bands. And almost all of them have total school population, 600 kids per grade level. So almost every single school that has been invited to play at VMEA for the last 5 years, except mine, has 600 kids per grade level. We have 190 per grade level. And we got to play at a conference a couple years ago, which was great. Although this year, there's a middle school, Pocosa Middle School, that now has the new record. They have about 170 kids per grade level. And they got invited to play, which is really fantastic. But yeah, most of them are just huge, just enormous schools.
Right.
I remember my first time going to VMEA, I saw the featured middle school band, and I'm looking at the program notes, and it's like, this is the top of our 3 8th grade bands. And everyone in the top band is required to take private lessons.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my
And I was like,
gosh.
well,
That's
I don't
Texas. That's when you go, or
understand.
that's when you go to like Midwest and you see the program of the band that is performing and the staff that is listed, the private teachers. You're like, I'm never going to be this. This is never going to be me. Is Santa Claus in the chat?
I just saw
Sorry.
that.
Yeah.
Santa is my.
Nice.
I am mutuals with Santa, guys. Like,
Mr. Nesmith,
Yes.
they're saying that we look like twins. I don't know if I see it.
Yeah, I like it.
Oh my gosh.
In that we're all going to keep screwing up your names, probably.
Oh wait,
but that's
we
about
got
it.
twins here.
Yes.
Oh, there you go.
The
Love it.
stress of the job just.
Got
Oh
some
my
bald,
gosh.
beautiful men.
Fairfax has more of a bigger emphasis on
Yes.
what they allow. So there's a lot of built-in advantages, and there's a lot of really great. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of really amazing directors that live there. Some directors that I idolize and have for a very long time. But they start band in 4th and 5th grade. In 5th grade for a lot of them, and 5th and 6th grade is at an elementary school, so they'll have one teacher there. Middle school in Fairfax is only 7th and 8th, so they'll go up to a different teacher for 7th and 8th. And they're able, because of their schedule, to mix grade levels however they want. So a lot of those schools have a concert band, symphonic band of just kind of mixed grade levels, mixed abilities, and all that sort of thing. So when I go hear some of those bands play, I'm like, okay, I have to keep in mind this is a 4th year band. This isn't a 3rd year band.
Yeah.
Right? Like, especially on brass, that extra year it makes a lot of difference in your tone. So I have to try to keep that in mind. Like, okay, like if they sound like a little bit more mature in some ways, like that is probably why, and that's okay. I mean, it's like when you go to Midwest and you see, some of the Texas bands you mentioned that have, a staff of 20 private lessons teachers that are employed by the school. Like, I am not knocking on those directors at all. It is great what they're able to do with those resources. But when I go listen to them play, I have to keep in mind of like, okay, my band's probably not going to be that because we do not have those resources.
Well,
but
that's
I can
what goes
still
down
go.
to resources. Yeah.
But I can still go and enjoy it and learn things and learn
Yes.
rep and get tips and tricks from those guys for sure. But like directly comparing our bands to that program is not very fair given kind of like the crazy difference in time and resources and personnel.
Hello, welcome, Mr. White. Mr.
Hi.
White.
Mr.
We have our first Gen Z in the house right now.
Hey.
Oh,
We could have taught you.
Yeah.
That is true. You're from, as I say to all the other faculty, you're from the 1900s.
Ouch.
Before the black and white TVs were invented.
What state are you in, Mr. White?
I am in Missouri.
Ooh, a new
Neighbors.
state. Yay. Missouri.
I'm right where Illinois, Iowa, and Missouri all touch.
Oh, that's
Oh.
so much fun.
Nice. We almost have like a straight line. You know, the chef. You know, the chef.
Yeah.
Oh
So
yeah.
oh,
we're doing pretty good, guys. I didn't color in Texas. Should I color in Texas for Mr. Trevino?
He said he was from Texas, but he doesn't teach there now, so I don't think that counts.
He doesn't teach there now? I thought he still did.
Did he say that?
Oh.
Yeah, he's
I
still
thought he
in
said he was
Texas.
teaching somewhere else. Maybe I'm wrong.
He's
Yeah.
still in San Antonio.
Yes, that's what I thought too. I would love to get.
Oh,
Yeah,
he said he's in San Antonio. Yep, there you go.
Okay. Yes.
You color in all of Texas or just a little circle or
San Antonio is where they have TMEA, I think. I almost considered going, but I don't know. We'll see.
We were talking about participation rates in our schools and everything.
Yeah.
It's a good guide and it's like something to strive for, and I try and get high participation rates. But does anybody else feel that weird pressure about it too? And then like it's so odd that people that have like no idea about being a music teacher, teaching in some other field, their like first question is like, oh, what are your numbers like?
Yeah.
Like, is that giving you a sense of what our program is? It's a weird thing that other people tend to comment on,
My former administrator, that's what she ended every school year with me. What does it look like next year? And so my current one never is like that. Our school offers like high school level classes to our kids in middle school, which I think is stupid. So they can take like geometry and algebra and then foreign languages. And if they take a foreign language, that takes away one block of their encore classes or our electives, where you guys call them where you're at. So for a kid to stay in band or choir, that's a full year. And if they take that foreign language, they don't get to take art or phys ed or creative writing or technology. And so we lose so many kids because of that. And then we have another thing that's called TIES, where it's a peer-to-peer help, which sounds good, but we have twice as many kids that want to be in it that can be in it because they just want to blow off that hour. It's kind of like a study hall. So if you tell an 8th grader you can have an hour off every day, they're going to drop band. They're going to drop choir for that. So like my numbers are great in 6th and 7th grade. When they come to 8th grade, they drop severely because of these requirements. And I've been trying to push those out, but
Thank you, Holden the Rizzler. My husband said we need to shout out Holden the Rizzler. Apparently he's been saying good stuff, so I don't see him on here, but yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think part of it is, as much as it stinks, is we've got to make our class desirable too. Like we got to make kids want to be there, but also like it's a fine line of wanting to be there and having high expectations for those who are wanting to be there too. I tell them this class is going to be the class that you think and do the most with your body in all day long. You're doing so much with your brain and your body and your heart. This is the most full you're going to feel all day long in my class, and playing your instrument and being in this ensemble. And sometimes kids really get that, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you're right." And some kids are like, "Yeah, this is too much work."
I feel like this is where I tell all the kids, like you work hard in the 6th grade year, especially because we start 6th grade and I teach all the way through high school. So I get them as 5th grade general music, use that as a hook of, this is recruitment for band. But I always kind of preach it, especially if we're having a day and we're having fun. I'm like, guys, this shouldn't feel like a class. Like, you're getting a grade for this, right? And they're like, it doesn't feel like it, though. So those are always, it's just nice things to think about, like once they're there and they're there. It's golden.
I'll say at the high school level, right before I inherited this job from my wife, she would always have the same issue. She would have a group of maybe 25 kids in like a very small 2A band. And they would be solid kids though. Almost all of them were kids who were dedicated and wanted to be there and would show up and give the effort. And it was a good group. They sounded nice, but they only had like one trumpet player, only like one low brass player, one snare drummer out there. But they were good. And so, we did that, and everyone, no matter how good they sounded, would say, yeah, it sucks, the band's so small. Man, what a shame. What a shame, you're ruining the program. And they would blame all of that on her. And so she's like, fine. So she recruited tons and tons of kids who had been through either our crappy feeder school programs or, worse, they had never been in band whatsoever and just joined out of the blue unexperienced. And so we went from like 25 kids who knew what they were doing to 50-something who didn't want to be there or didn't know what to do. And so now we're kind of reining it back. We're going to have a very, very simple audition. Like, you got to play the B flat scale and walk with a metronome for 16 beats. Let's see if you can do that. Then you can join our band.
Right.
It's so crazy that if you put 50 people out there in the uniforms, though, you're going to hear from the community, oh, that's great. The band program's grown so much,
Right.
But you still only have those 27 that are actually playing. The rest are all just holding stuff.
No,
they're not even putting the clarinet in their mouth, or the
Oh, they don't have a reed.
The mallets
They
are just
don't need
sitting
it.
there above the instrument.
So this is a really important conversation I have with my student teachers. I'm really close to JMU, so I get about 2 student teachers a year. I've got 2 coming up next semester, which I love doing. It's super fun. But a conversation I have with them, I was like, look, like, you're probably not going to walk into a program like mine. So like we have 97 6th graders in our band, and there's 200 6th graders total. So almost 50%, which is awesome. But I was like, look, like, when you get your first band program, you're probably going to have an 8th grade band of like 20 kids. And your administrators are going to immediately put pressure on you to make numbers grow. And that's going to be difficult because when you're taking over a new program, there's going to be a lot of kids that quit, because they're going to be like, oh, you're not going to be the same as the last person, yada, yada, yada. And, and kids get really attached to their band directors. And when a band director leaves or quits or gets fired or whatever, there are going to be certain kids that are just going to leave, and it does not matter how good the new person's going to be. They're just going to leave because they're very attached to the person who was there.
Yes.
And I try to tell my student teachers, like, please be patient your first couple of years, because your numbers are probably going to go down, even if you're doing a great job. And your admin is going to be turning on that pressure, like, you need more. But like, you need to create the culture that you want, and that needs to take precedence over anything else.
Yes, I was having this conversation today with my husband. I took over the middle school band program from someone who had been there for 19 years. And he was like a legend. People loved him. And he went to go open up a brand new school in our county. So he was still around. And I had his students still. Like the 6th graders, they were mine. But those 7th and 8th graders were his. And I didn't know it at the time. I was trying to make them mine. And that's what people need to realize when they're going into programs is it's going to take a while for the kids to become yours. Yes. The kids who were in Mr. Lee's band might not be in Miss Allen's band. And some kids in Miss Allen's band might not be in Mr. Lee's band. And that's okay. That's totally fine. I'm sure there are kids that are in my band that might not be in your guys' band. And that's okay. We have to realize that is fine, and that is going to be okay. Like, do we want band is for everyone, but band isn't for everyone.
Right. My co-op when I was student teaching was like, you're going to be an adoptive band director. If you're going middle school for 2 years, if you're going high school, it's going to be 4 years before those kids are yours. Mm-hmm. And it's just the harsh reality of it. Like, we have a new director in the other middle school in our district, and like her 8th graders are revolting. Like, they don't like her because she's not the last guy. And the last guy was great, and she's great, but just the difference in personalities. And 8th graders aren't going to give a young teacher anything more than a quarter to impress them, and they'll start to drop. So that's why I tell them, I'm her mentor teacher, and I have a student teacher. So I'm telling them both this all the time. Just stick with it. It's going to stink for your first year or two, but you're going to have that class that will all of a sudden love you to death. So, I mean, it's rough. It's the hardest job you'll ever love.
Hey guys, I gotta get going. I gotta take my kids home. I'm sad to lose the middle spot. Everybody.
What are you, Alice? You're Alice in the Brady Bunch.
The Brady
I'm loving
Bunch,
this.
yes.
I'm looking around.
I'm gonna
Does
head
you know
out
the Brady
too.
Bunch? Like,
Yeah, I know who the Brady Bunch are.
Okay, all right.
and then Mr.
all right.
White didn't.
I'm headed out too, everybody. We'll
Bye,
see ya.
Mr. Glader. Garth.
See ya.
See ya. There were a few people that weren't watching, but I know that from the group they were online, so I might try to invite them again.
Mr. Trevino has a question. He says, how do you connect with your elementary teachers to help recruit?
It takes effort. I mean, you have to. Fortunately, having kids in my school district, I was with one a lot because I went to their concerts all the time. But you just have to make that effort. Just like as a middle school band director, I want my high school band director to reach out to me. Like, I am busy too. And the one I have now is awesome about it. Like, we talk all the time. The three of us have a texting group that we blow up every day. But it just takes that effort to reach out because every teacher is busy. And I think that's what a lot of people miss when they're talking to those elementary teachers.
Yeah, I always reach out to them and say, when can I come put on a concert?
Yep.
You know, I reach out to the principals. Hey, can I come and talk about band? You know,
Yep.
that's
Well, we had our last meeting before COVID, like they actually got K-8 music teachers together, which was the best thing. And we walked in after the elementary people were meeting for like 2 months before we came. And they were like trying to decide on what we want them to have these kids know. And they're like going through reading all these notes and terms. And I'm like, no, I want them to like music. I want them to be excited to come to my class or to my choir teacher's class. And that made them feel really good because I think that they felt like they had these huge goals to meet. And the way our elementaries are scheduled, it's bizarre. Like some of them will have the kids for a week and then not again for another 4 weeks. Or they'll have kids, once a week, and then every fourth week they'll have them twice a week. It's insane what they do with those kids and how well they prepare them. But it's not a priority.
Yeah.
Do you guys put on concerts at your elementary schools? Like, to me, that's huge. You know, if you're showing off the instruments and.
Yep. So when I first got to my school, there wasn't like a set recruitment process. This is my fourth year teaching. This is my fourth year at the same district. My first year also, fifth grade general music got moved up to the middle school. So I also got that class and I kind of treat it. I do recorder. A lot of them didn't get to do any kind of instruments in elementary, so they're really excited.
Yeah.
But all I do, I just mentioned, I'll bring out an instrument one day, especially if I'm bored and we'll play, or I'll bring older kids down from the middle school, 6th, 7th, 8th graders. Hey, have any of you ever heard of a tuba? I'm bringing my tuba player, and then he rocks it, and it's a lot of fun. And then I will schedule a whole concert just for 5th grade. So bring them into the gym. We'll start out with some pep, play. Like last year, we had a movie concert, so How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh, cool.
The next piece, we do mouthpiece tryouts, and I have every kid in the grade tryout. Our grade sizes are anywhere from like 50 to 80. And I usually get about 3/4 of the grade signed up every year.
So
Awesome.
your admins let you have every kid try them out?
Yes.
Oh my God. Because we're trying that new this year.
Admin has been phenomenal. I was told when I first got to my district, they're just like, don't know about that admin for you. It's kind of it's a rural school, so they're like, we don't know how it's going to go. Nothing but up to sport. We actually,
This is our first year. We're going to try like a petting zoo.
I did it. It was great.
Yeah, like I told you earlier, like we just start them brand new in 6th grade and test them then. So I would like to get them set up at the end of 5th grade where they're very excited about it and have their instruments on day one type of thing.
So we do a concert in February in mouthpiece tryouts. They have about 4 weeks to get a paper turned in. It's like an info sheet on the front.
Yep.
And on the back is like a permission slip they turn in. When they get it turned in, I do a little, I just get a poster board from Walmart and we do like a running tally, like, this is how many band members we have, and I change it every day. I write their name on top of the instrument they chose. And at the end, I go on Canva and I have this little template set up. I put their picture, their name, fall band member 2025, and I post them. Then laminate them, put them in an envelope with a welcome to band letter, send it home to the parents.
Yeah.
So
I
we
love
make it
it.
a thing.
That's so cool.
Then we do rental night the first week we get back in August.
Well, I have it easy since I'm K to 8, so I have all of them, and they're all just excited. They're like, since you are our music teacher, you'll be our band teacher too. And I'm like, yeah, if you continue and join, yeah. So it's pretty exciting for them since they see the same teacher every single grade.
I bet.
Have you guys ever taught 6th to 8th grade all together?
Like in one room?
Yeah.
No.
Since
No, but I know
school,
that that's what Mr. Kneisel does. He has them all in one because he only sees them twice a week. So
My student teacher from last year is doing that right now, and she's struggling, but it's just making it work as best you can.
Mr. White, you have a lot of fans in the crowd. I'm sorry,
Yes,
Mr.
I do.
Simi. I'm just.
They have been so excited. I told them, I was like, guys, you want to guys I got a message from yesterday? And they're like, here's from like Mrs. Allen. And we're a bunch of excited came in off like all they're like, oh my gosh, that is crazy. Blah, blah, blah.
I was at Midwest last year, and some kids who were getting ready to go put on a concert at Midwest like bombarded me.
Aww.
And were like, Mrs. Allen, going crazy. And I was like, you guys are the celebrity. You're performing at Midwest. Like, where's your director? I want to meet them. Like, I was like, I was so confused in the moment. Very confused.
I have so many of my students that are like, well, that's not what Mrs. Allen says. I'm like, okay, well, go trust her. I do too. So.
Oh, well, this has made me a more confident teacher because I'm realizing I do actually know things. Because let me tell you, imposter syndrome is so real.
It is.
And when there's nobody there to like hold you accountable, like not that I don't have like good admin, like they just trust me, like all my admin people are sports ball people. So like, they're like, okay, great. Your parents are happy. You're happy. Like, it's great, and that's fine. But at the same time, like when there's nobody saying, hey, good job, you don't know if you're doing a good job.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I was a little giddy when I got a message the other day saying I was mentioned in a post, and I said, oh no, one of my students. And then you popped up and I went, I don't belong here. What?
I told my children that 2 days ago, and they're like, what?
We need to welcome Mr. Rick, the New Jersey band director. We got a new state to color in.
Got our New Jersey man.
We got New Jersey to join. And you are really close to Philly, though, right?
I'm about 45 minutes. Depends on how fast I want to drive.
There's our state map now.
There we go.
We're really heavy in the East and Midwest here. It'd be nice if we could get an Indiana. That'd be really nice. Do we know anybody from Indiana? I don't know anybody from Indiana.
No.
Everybody's in Illinois that I know that's a band director. Everybody's in Illinois. So Rick, you teach high school, right?
Yeah, I teach high school band. I actually just got home from my jazz band rehearsal.
Wow.
On the Tuesday of Thanksgiving? Come on.
I'm brutal. But we had school. It's okay. I have school tomorrow.
What?
Oh, yeah.
You're so happy your kid's going to be gone?
Oh, maybe. But so in Jersey, we have a teachers convention weekend break in the beginning of New Jersey, like the beginning of November. So a lot of schools will have off for like the first Thursday and Friday. Some schools give off for the whole week. We around here we call it No School November because it's really just 2 full weeks of school and then Thanksgiving. So, but yeah, we've always had it where we have a half day on Wednesday and then have Thursday, Friday off for Thanksgiving.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I could not imagine. Yeah, it's No School November. We don't have school on Veterans Day. Sometimes there's, Election Day.
Right.
And then there's a whole week off. Like we go to school for like 18 days in the month of November.
I wish. And don't forget, we also go to school until like middle of June. Yeah.
When do you start?
After Labor Day.
Okay, so we start like early August, like
Right.
August 10th, 11th, and we get out before June. Like, so excited! My
Yeah,
birthday's in June,
we start
and I
like
put my
August.
teach in my birthday month.
Yeah, August 18th, and we get out typically the Friday before Memorial Day or the Friday after Memorial Day, depending on if we get 2 weeks at Christmas or something. So
do you guys have 5-day weeks or 4-day weeks?
5.
Five.
Yeah, 4.
You have furloughs?
We 4-day week. It is very interesting.
How does that
Mr.
work?
Ashley has that. Do you guys follow Mr. Ashley? He's another middle school, but he's just a middle school teacher. He's on a 4-day schedule too. Tell us all about it, Mr. White.
So my student teaching was my first experience with 5-day block schedule. I went home every day, crashed on the couch. Hated block schedule for middle school and high school full placement. And then I got hired at my district. And they're like, oh yeah, we're on a 4-day school week. And I was like, how's that going to work? So I go to the high school. I'd be there 7:20 in the morning. We start 7:45. And then I have my prep and travel time for second hour. Finish my day at the middle school. We leave about 3:45. Each class is about 55 minutes.
And that was your student teaching situation.
No, that's now. So student teaching
now.
was like 90 minutes. We saw the kids every other day, including 6th grade.
4 days.
That was 5 days. Now
okay.
Sorry, it was just a big difference of 5 days block schedule to 4 days, 55 minutes.
Okay.
Do you feel good with retention of knowledge with missing that Friday?
So I think something that I see a lot in middle school is they have the whole weekend with no me, no structure, no things like that. They're crazy on Tuesday, but by Friday, they are the golden children. They want to have a good rehearsal. They were, even today, they're like, man, we really wish we could have had actual band and not just a fun day. Meanwhile, high school, they had all weekend to hang out with their friends. So Tuesday, they're super tired. They're like, yeah, let's just do band. It's first hour. We don't care. By Friday, they're all ready. It's like animals in a cage. They're ready to fight each other. There's usually a fist fight on the way out the door. Lots of squeaking. They're like, we don't care. It's time to go home.
So is your day longer then?
It's a little over 8 hours.
Okay.
So do you have football Fridays nights or?
My district, the kids are going to start blowing up the comments. My district doesn't have football, but last year I was always a field show guy. So I started a field show at our district last year. And I will say that's been a challenge.
You signed up for it?
We don't judge, Miss Allen.
Non-judgment zone, judgment-free zone.
No, I love field. We did competitive parade, and I was like, guys, this ain't it. We got to do something else.
We got to welcome Mr. Poulin, right? Did I say it right? Maybe. You're muted.
He's muted.
There we go.
Hey, it's Poland, but yeah.
Poland.
Yes, that's me. How's it going, everybody?
Welcome. What state are you in?
I'm a California guy, so it is only 6:10 here. I was just at dinner with all my relatives. Just got in early because they're all coming in for my wedding on Saturday. So.
Oh, congrats!
That's right. Yeah, congrats.
So yeah.
Way to go!
Thanksgiving.
Wedding and Thanksgiving. I get to color California, which is like as big as all of our states combined here.
No.
Wow. What part of California?
I'm in the Central Valley, so I'm in Fresno, if you know what that is. But yeah.
Is it near Solvang?
I could probably get there in like 2.5 to 3 hours.
We finally have a West Coaster, folks.
Yay! Wow. There you go.
Warm weather.
Now, I know that Jackie, that band teacher lady, is also in California. So she hasn't been posting a lot, but I think she's getting her master's. So that's like something she's really been doing. And there used to be a content creator in Seattle who made a ton of band content like a few years ago, but he kind of stopped making it. I don't know if you guys remember Jimmers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He used to make a ton of content as well. He had lots of strong opinions, and I was always interested to hear them. One time he threw a saxophone and stressed me out. So, but Mr. Poland, Poland.
Yes.
Poland. Gotta get it right.
That's it.
Nesmith.
Nesmith, yes. Yes, you got
I got it.
Yes.
Hot dog. I thought Nesquik, and that helped me.
Yes, Nesquik.
Yeah. So, if you guys don't know, Mr. Poland, his dad is famous for writing drum corps stuff, right?
Yeah, a lot of drum corps, a lot of marching band things. Like he was kind of one of the first guys to like really do like the online composer thing, like in the early '90s when I was kind of fresh. So yeah,
Is
that's
his
like
name
claim to
P?
fame.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've definitely taught those shows to several
Yes.
different marching bands.
Yeah.
So
I know when I saw his name, I was like, I know that name. I know that's a marching band name right there. And his name is Key too. You're the fifth, right?
Fourth.
Fourth.
So, yeah, he's the third, I'm the fourth.
Wow.
Wow. That's awesome.
Are you going to keep that train going?
That like we'll see if we can do it.
Pressure's
but,
on, you know.
Yeah, I mean, like, getting married on Saturday, but no plans, for kids or anything like that for at least a little while. But eventually, I would like a child or two when I'm a little bit older and a little bit smarter.
Yep.
Well, I tell all my eighth graders right before they leave to go to high school, I said, guys, you know what's going to make high school really suck? A baby.
Yes.
Oh.
And they're all like, oh, and they're like, you're right, Miss Allen, you're right. And the parents always appreciate it. They're a little shocked at first, but I'm like, you know what? Hey, let's be real with them, like,
yeah,
it's not going to be, you're not going to have a good time in high school with a baby. So
my birth control for my young girls in my classroom, especially in sixth grade, is I tell a lot of stupid dad jokes, and my boys are gross and stinky. And I tell the girls, I'm like, do these boys look familiar to a man in your house? And they're all like, oh. And I'm like, yeah, your dads are all just a bunch of 12-year-olds, and they'll never mature. No dating in my band class. So.
Oh yeah, but we know that they're all looking at each other. So.
Yeah. Well, I call that out.
To get more band kids.
Oh, we've gotten another
This is
person
our-
trying to get on, Neil, the drummer. Neil Drums. I can't remember he's got a channel, so
Does it cap us at 9?
It does.
I
Yes,
can leave. It was nice seeing you guys. See you guys next time.
Yeah, thank you so much. You bring in so much to us, and we'll be on again multiple times this week. So this is my content for the week, is being live, not making much else. So thank you so much for coming, Erica. Let's see.
Who's got their own kids like at home? I got one for me.
I got 2.
Dose. I'm not outnumbered.
No kids, just cats.
Nice.
Just cats.
Are they all band kids?
I have a trumpet player in my 7th, and he actually marimba on one of our songs recently because your percussionists don't want to play mallets. I was like, does anybody want to? He played, so I was like, all right, you can. I know you'll be able to handle this, and he did great. And then I have a 5th grader who is starting trombone, and I'll be his teacher starting in January. So
They're the best.
yeah.
So I have a trumpet player who went through, and he's a senior, which makes me sad. And I've got a freshman trombone player. My son is looking to do musical theater in college, so we got all the auditions coming up right now, which is
exciting.
Very
So those of you that teach your own kids, do your other students feel like you're playing favorites, or maybe the opposite?
Well, I've coached my kids too in like baseball and softball, and so all their teammates come up too, and they're like, "You're actually harder on your 2 kids than you are on anyone else."
Oh yeah.
But I leave them alone. Like I don't give them anything that's not warranted. I don't know. I try to treat them like a normal kid in my band class, which is pretty easy. Like in high school when I'm working with the marching band, I ignore both of them. Like I don't want it. Like if someone's a section leader, I didn't want to bother him. And my daughter, she had great section leaders, so I just went and worked with other sections all the time.
My daughter just told me that I'm harder on them, so I guess I'm harder on them.
That's
Welcome.
okay.
Are you Miss Neil, right?
Yes.
And you're in Georgia, is that right?
Yep.
Right
Right outside Savannah.
Welcome to the party.
Hello.
We can color a new state here.
That's
We've got
right.
Georgia. Have
Neil,
you
do
been
I
in
see
Georgia
you
your
in your
whole
videos
career?
with with a microphone on your neck?
Sometimes I did some of them. The ones I bought, they're kind of, as the kids would say, they're kind of mid. So I hadn't got any. I've seen that flat one that's been going around, but I hadn't pulled the trigger on it because everything I buy from TikTok Shop does not pan out the way I think it's going to.
What is it? You have a microphone?
Like,
No,
like
I've
when you're
used one.
teaching.
I've got one. Oh yeah, no, I have a microphone. Yes, that I teach with. Yes.
Do you do that every class?
Yes, I do that all day, every day.
Oh wow.
I
Your
had
voice
a
is
sub-
probably a lot more fresh than mine at the end of the day.
My substitute, we had a band director who taught for 37 years in my county, and he retired last year, and he's been subbing. And when he subbed for me, I went on a cruise in October. And because, why not? And because, well, the reason I went was because I had him. I knew he could sub for me. And so it was only 4 days. And anyway, he brought in like his microphone setup, and the kids were like, he spoke in a microphone the whole time. And I was like, well, good for him. Like,
Yeah. Well, somebody I know. I mean, I taught without one for 14 years, and then I found that the kids thought I was yelling at them all the time, especially percussionists, because I'm a percussionist. And they're in the back of the room, and I'm like, "You got to do this," trying to get them to do things.
Yeah.
And they always thought I was mad at them, or that I was mean and yelling at them. And so one of my buddies, she used one for years, and I'm like, "Why do you use that?" And I got one, and I said, "Okay, that makes sense," because I can talk to them while the process is happening. I proved to myself the other day I could do it without a microphone, and I taught the whole class without it. Like actually making them stop, tell them what I need, start again. But now that I just do it the whole time with the microphone on, it's tough to do that now because it's just live. When it happens, I can just say it, and they can hear me, and I don't sound like I'm mad because I'm just like, "Oh, you got to fix that, you got to do that."
got it. Hey, and those of you who are watching right now, 229 of you, thank you so much for being here. We're reading your comments. We're trying to respond to them. Thank you for watching, and go follow all of these creators. Go follow these guys. We got all dudes here right now. Like if a woman is trying to get in here, I'm going to kick one of y'all out of here, just so you know. But because I feel like it's 2005 and I started teaching, and I was the only woman.
Yep.
I got the microphone idea from a woman.
I got the microphone idea from a woman.
I graduated in the year 2000 when you were born, probably. So
actually, you probably were walking across that stage, and I was.
I started teaching before you graduated.
I was born in May. So
I got
you.
Oh, probably, yep. But yeah, speaking of the whole women, like I was one of 3 women in my whole district of like 20 schools or 20 high schools, and then like another 30 middle schools or whatever. And there were only 4 of us at the time in 2005. And now there's half and half. Half are women and half are men. And it's amazing. Like, it's so nice. So I don't know if you guys notice a difference, those of you who've been around a while.
It's shifting. Like there's only two male teachers in our secondary music department right now, which is great. Like I love working with the 2 female band directors. They bring such a different perspective for me to see, and we have a lot of good talks about it. But yeah, I think we're in a very chauvinistic still in 2025 profession.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
It's crazy that you say that because I've been in my district for 15 years, and we've always had more women than men in my district. And this is like the Shenandoah Valley strip. So I didn't know that the whole boys club thing was still happening until I went to some other districts.
Yeah.
And it was very much not that way. And to further flip that stereotype, in my district, almost all the high school directors are women and almost all the middle school directors are men. And most of the other districts, that is completely flopped the other way around. Yeah.
Here
so
in Michigan,
I haven't seen.
It's a boys club. In Michigan, it's a boys club.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that was a thing until I traveled to some other areas. And I was like,
So
man.
One of my best friends from college, she was like our first drum major ever at Michigan State, female drum major. And runs a very successful marching band program and high school program. Well, her husband is a lawyer and all these great things. When she goes on trips, they go to him still. I mean, she's been teaching as long as I have. And they still go to him, who's not a band director, nothing to do with it. But the tour guides think that he's going to know more. It's infuriating as someone who has a daughter who's married to a very strong woman. I hate it.
Yeah, it's definitely tough, especially like when I first started teaching, I very much looked like a student. Didn't have all these wrinkles yet. And and it was tough to not, be seen in that, even in a middle school, because I'm only about 5'3", pretty short. I think teaching keeps us looking young, first of all. Like, I think we all look younger.
I may beg to disagree with that.
Yeah, I'm not looking anything younger than 50 right now. So
No, not true. I think teaching keeps us young.
It does keep us young. It's true.
So, I agree. I think very much so. We know what 6'7" is.
So, Ms. Allen, feel free not to answer this question if you don't want to, but do you feel like you are on the receiving end of sexism from other band directors in your career?
Yes, because it's little moments, but they'll say like, "Oh, honey," or "Sweetheart," versus, "Call me by my name." And, very much treat me like I'm the help. And I've definitely had that experience from older band directors. So yeah, I've definitely seen that. Also, I think what I've felt more, and so for those of you who teach high school, I'm sorry, but I teach middle school, therefore I'm not as important as a high school director.
Yep.
That's probably what I feel more than I feel on the other end.
I think that's an across the board thing.
I do too.
Because I've been a high school director and a middle school director, and I chose to be a middle school director to make the high school. When I say what I wanted, I mean, because I'm the percussion guy at the high school, so I did that so that I got what I wanted coming to the high school. So I just started them. And when I was in high school and I didn't like what was coming to me, I'm pulling my hair out going, what's happening? So I just went to middle school. But now, not now so much, but there was a point in middle school where they're like, oh, that's cool. They asked all the high school guys all the stuff. I taught in Metro Atlanta for 13 years, and we're building a new fine arts, performing arts center. Awesome. But they haven't asked me the first thing, and I've been in every performing arts center in Atlanta. And the guys that are here that are band directors don't have a problem with it. They've both taught their whole career here in Effingham, where there's 2 schools, and they've just been here. But I'm the middle school guy, so they don't ask me a whole lot. But the high school guys called me and asked me. So it's different, from different perspectives, I think, on who does what. But I think that's an across-the-board thing, honestly.
Well, so I can't tell you how many band parents have come up to me and they're like, oh, so like, you're like good enough to get promoted to high school, right?
Yes,
why are you still teaching middle school?
Yeah. I've had
I was like, I
administrators
used to
ask me
teach
that.
high school.
Yes,
Like, I
well,
love teaching middle school.
teachers say, "Are you?"
It keeps going. They see
you're
high
just
school
gonna go to
teachers.
high
They're like,
school?
go to college.
Yep.
Dude, I know
That
so
just
many
keeps
college
trickling.
professors, and no offense to college professors, but so many of them would literally be crying in the corner after 2 hours in a middle school classroom.
True.
Look, I'm in the elementary trenches, so I hear all the things. You're like, man, why aren't you like going to high school? You're young, you have energy. And I'm like, eventually, but I gotta figure things out.
But you need your strongest teachers at the elementary level, because no matter what, if it's strong foundation, I say this not to invalidate it, but as a high school director, any schmuck can run a high school program if you're set up well with kids learning fundamentals. The love of music being instilled that young is the big part. So if you can get your best musicians, best teachers, best advocates, middle school and down, then your high school program, it's probably the more public version of it.
Right.
But the longevity is going to be, where did they start and what are they going to remember? They're going to remember that elementary stuff too.
Yeah, I worked with a high school band director who thought that same way. And what he didn't like about me is I challenged him. I said, I get these kids ready for you, but what are you going to do in high school to push them? And our one we have there now, she's been here 5 years, and I love that. I teach a lot of theory, a ton of theory, and she is now pushing where my kids are like, well, this is a little harder now, Dad, because she's like piggybacking on, and I'm like, like the learning shouldn't stop with me at all. Like, I get them ready for you, and I know you're going to play more harder music, but keep teaching, because I think a kid who's not being taught, that's like we talked about retention. If they're bored, they're going to quit, and I think they like to learn new things. So all over the board, we need to have that and push the actual teaching. I think we talked about like earlier today about the listening to other bands and like, having a little bit of that envy. Like, don't just like teach the kids to do the things, and I think that would be helping wide all the way. So it doesn't have to be an elementary teacher or middle school. I think every one of us needs to just really focus on those basic fundamentals so we can be treated like that core class and get those kids. Like, I have so many kids that teach music now. I'm so proud of it because like once they leave my class, I think they could pass freshman theory in college.
That's awesome.
So
I would say that the school that I feed into, 100% feed into, both their jazz band and their concert band played at the state conference last year.
That's incredible.
So, 90% of those students that were on that stage were in my band.
Yeah.
And so I felt very proud, to be, and also during COVID.
Yep.
Gosh, all of the sophomores were on a computer with me. So, to me, that was a huge, huge thing for them to get to do that. And I felt like I was a part of their success, so.
I think that's what the important thing is, to find out that we are valuable. And like, I almost quit teaching 5 years ago because I was up for that job with our new teacher, and I didn't even get a second interview because they wanted me to stay in middle school. They really liked me being in middle school, and I had to really swallow that. But now I'm very proud of how I teach. I think it's very valuable. My kids do great things. All the drum majors are always my kids because I have kids. Like, my final exam for my 8th graders is they direct and teach a whole piece. I do nothing with it except pick the piece, and they have to do sectionals and rehearse it. And so I know I'm teaching those good things, and they're going to go on to be good leaders later on. So I think it's finding and being proud and being able to boast, like, hey, I do this and I make a difference in those kids, no matter what level I'm at.
How should I be prepared to become a band teacher? Landon C.
Practice.
Be ready for questions about anything and everything.
Number one thing is, and I'm learning this as I have 2 high schoolers right now, a couple middle schoolers that really want to be directors, and they've been telling me for 3 years. And one of the biggest things is they're going to get classes where they learn all the other instruments, especially. They're going to get classes where they learn how to conduct. But the ultimate thing is you can know all these things, but there's going to be 2 things that I think will turn people away from you when you get taken. One is not being decent at your primary instrument. Like, you have to have some competency there. But 2 is just being a people person. And I think that's a culture shock I had going into music education, is I was not a good enough people person. I was an introvert, and I was a little mean. So college was really a culture shock of like, man, you gotta, even if you don't feel it all the time, you gotta be a good person. Otherwise, no one's gonna want to work with you. You're not gonna get far. You're gonna burn those bridges before you even build them. So,
Yeah, and I also think there's a likable factor. Like, you can't just come out guns a-blazing. This is me, whether you like it or not. I think you have to realize that you have to sell yourself. It's not who you are, but like, the kids need to like you, and the parents need to like you. And I don't think you need to change who you are, but I think you also need to realize, yeah, like you said, Mr. Wright, be nice and approachable. And, if you're not communicating with your parents, or you're not talking to your students or creating relationships with them, they're not going to want to be there.
You have to be a problem solver too. Like today, I don't know if you guys have to, we have to fill out all the IEP things daily for our students. So you have to really know how to teach every student and meet them where they're at. And John Whitwell, I don't know if you guys know who John Whitwell is. He was the director of bands at MSU when I was there. And one of my favorite sayings was, you can teach 100 things one way, or one thing 100 different ways, and finding the way to meet everybody. So you're just solving problems with a lot of different ways and solutions. And I think that helps you be a teacher.
And also all the administrative things you have to do. Good grief.
Yep, being organized. Get those planners going.
Yeah, one thing I'd like to throw out there, though, is like, if someone is a student right now and they are thinking of becoming a music teacher, I would definitely go spend a day and observe a teacher who's not one of yours, like another teacher in another district or whatever, and just go hang out with them for a day and just see what they do. And I just bring this up because a lot of kids really like being in band, but then when they get into a music program and then it's no longer a hobby and now it's your full-time job, not everyone can handle that the same way. You know, some people are like, I just want to be in band forever, so I guess I'll be a band director. But that's not a great reason to be a band. Like, go play in your community band if you just really love band. You know what I mean? If teaching band is a lot different than being a band student. So go hang out with somebody and observe them and just see what it's like before you commit to, I don't know, $100,000 of tuition to find out that you don't actually want to do it. And you just spend a lot of time like that you could have been doing something else. So please, please, please go observe people before you start even applying for schools.
It's not just baton go swoosh swoosh. Like there's a lot going into it.
Well, I was having a conversation with one of my other band director buddies. We were at the beach this week at a Friendsgiving, and just the perspective in college, at least where we're at, is that the kids are being taught and they're coming out thinking they're fixing to get in front of a grade 5, grade 6 band. And it's like, you guys, you're going to get in front of a grade 2 or 3 band that has 30 kids in it. And that's what you're going to have to figure out how to deal with. So,
and no one's teaching that. No one is teaching that.
That's the problem. And that's my biggest qualm right now with college. I did a podcast called On the Water Break a couple weeks ago. And, you know, they have a, what are you doing, like a segment about what's bothering you. And I'm like, the colleges are not telling these kids this isn't real life. Like, you're not going to just go bust up at a Texas band and be the number 2 guy conducting their wind symphony playing grade 6. It's not going to happen unless you just get lucky. For the most part, and we're in Georgia, it's pretty rural outside of the big suburbs of Atlanta. And that's where you're going to land probably. You better figure out how to teach a high school band that can play grade 3 and 4 music that's 9 through 12, because that's what you're going to be at, probably.
Oh my God. So one of my student teachers got her first job last year, and she got there, and the kids were like, so when are we going to start playing Wii? And she was like, what are you talking about? And he's like, well, the last band director just let us play Wii. You know what I'm saying? Like, that might be what you walk into. And then it's like, cool, it's going to take a while to turn that culture around, you know, and to turn, it's going to take a while.
Yeah.
So I will say, I don't let them play Wii all the time, but if we have especially my general music classes, I don't know if any of you have done this, but I have my own Switch, and I pull up the Mario Party, like the Super Mario Party Rhythm Kitchen. And our 3-day is they do the Rhythm Kitchen game. So they're still doing something with music. They're following a beat, but they think it's just a free day.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. I'm sitting there, especially in 5th grade, I'm like, oh my gosh, you got like a 95%. Okay, so you're going to be a percussionist. And then just going on like, hey, you talk to your mom about joining band real quick?
There you go.
Well, Rock Band just came out my first year teaching high school, and they threw a general music class on me because I was the assistant. And I'm like, what am I going to do? And I bought Rock Band, and we played Rock Band the entire class, like all year long. That's what they did. I'm like, you got to learn to play a different instrument. And they had a good time. But, I mean, there's a place for that. I get that totally what you're saying. But, yeah, you never know what you're going to walk into. Never. Ever.
Yeah. I will say that I teach 2 sections of general music, and I try to keep it fun. But at the same time, I really like to balance my time with that class by like giving them something to do, then I can do something. You know, like fix an instrument. Like you work on this project, then I can fix an instrument.
Yeah.
Or I can sort this music or put this music away or grade these playing tests. And I'm really guilty of that with my general music classes. Like I try to have fun with them and do stuff, but I gotta have time. Like I cannot stay after school doing this stuff all the time. So to me, building it in with, and I don't know if you guys do general music at all. Like it's a rotating class for us, so it's like 9 weeks. But I really try to build in time to exist.
We just had this discussion with my principal. So like when I first got the job here, 8th grade was 2 sections, like 2 different periods. And that was just really hard to clean. So about 5 or 6 years ago, I asked them if they can put all the 8th graders in one block, which for us is anywhere between 50 and 85 kids for 8th grade. And so I didn't have a class the second 8th grade, block. And for a while, they just let me not have a class, and that was great. I got a lot done.
Yeah.
And then after a few years, they're like, "Cool, we're going to give you a study hall," which actually was fine. I would check in with the kids on what their grades were and what work they had to do. I'd let them know, and then I'd sit down and I'd do my work. They'd sit down and do their work. But a couple of weeks ago, they're like, "You know what? We're going to need you to actually just teach a class." And I was like, "Man, like, does it not count that I put 2 classes like into one? Does that?" Not? They're like, "No, we need to fill up your schedule. You need to." So I'm going to do a music production class next year, and it is going to be fun. I've taught music production before, and it's cool. But I'm Miss Young, you're talking about like work-life balance. Like I have a 5-year-old at home, and I want to hang out with them.
Yeah.
And it's tough when you have a lot of different preps, and they start throwing in general music classes, or for a lot of band directors teach band and choir. It's really hard to keep that work-life balance going.
Yeah, my husband always says the band will exist without you.
Yes. My principal before the one I have now, I had her when I first started raising my children, and that was my comment. How do I correct all these papers? Because I give a ton of sheets out now. I used to. Now I have like AI stuff and computer stuff. And she was like, "Don't grade everything. You don't have to grade everything. You see it's there, check it off, and make your life easier." Not every teacher, because I guess I thought every math teacher graded everything, or every ELA teacher graded everything. And she's like, "Jeff, you're dumb. They don't do that." So, make your life easier. Go through a couple and pick up the big things, but make time for that. Make time for that 5-year-old. Oh my good Lord,
Yes.
make time. So only 5 once, and then they're going to be 17 and leaving you.
That's the thing. He wants to hang out now. I know when he's 13, he's just going to be playing Fortnite with his friends in the basement.
No. Like, I'll tell you what. My son and I, we still play video games. Like, we love playing NCAA football. We will play each other in Madden as long as we can. It's a great thing when you build that. And I know, like, just watching your videos and talking to you today, it'll be a fun thing to do. Just watching them grow up and be their buddy.
Yeah.
But that's more important than any job. Like, I wouldn't take back any of the time that I lessened my loads at work to be with my 2 children and my wife. Like, that was the best thing I ever did.
I will say that I became a different teacher when I had my children.
I became a more understanding band director towards other parents too.
Yes. Oh,
I have so much more grace.
Changed so much when I had children. Like, I thought I was like, oh yeah, I had that motherly instinct. No, it doesn't really kick in till you have your own. And like, I'm not saying those of you who don't have kids, if you want to be child free, you go ahead and you be child free all you want. That is great. But there is something to be a parent. It's just a different perspective. And it changes you. It really does. My college band director was so intense. Like, he was the most intense. And I'm sure all of you are thinking, well, yeah, mine was more intense. No, mine was the most intense band director in the world. And he got married my sophomore year and got a little bit softer. And then when I graduated, he had triplets. And then we were all like, oh, it's done. And
yeah, broke him down. There you go.
And I was like, y'all are so lucky. Triplets. Now they're all graduated high school and they're on their own. But anyway.
Yeah. I know that when I had my daughters, I became a completely different teacher. And you can ask the students that I had before the daughters, and then now some of them actually work for me. I am so soft. It is like I'm the softest band director like I've ever been. I mean, I still do what I need to do, but
you had rehearsal on Tuesday of Thanksgiving.
I did, but I mean, like in marching band, where we have a very competitive program, and I've definitely been a lot more laid back with the 2 daughters than I was before the 2 daughters. So I totally get that. And my work-life balance, like, while September and October is non-existent, I try to make up for it in the summer and like when marching band isn't happening, so that I still have those times. And even when, I have a Sunday off or whatever, I try to give them as much time as I possibly can. And going back to the teaching your kids, we live in the district that I teach at. So I'm looking forward to, hopefully they want to do band. But, not going to force it, just, lightly put it out there.
Yeah, I think it's huge to live in the district you teach in. I love it.
That's what I was going to ask.
If that's me, I love it.
I love it
too. I was going to ask y'all if you did, because I've got a lot of people I'm not going to live. I like being in the community because I play drums at church, go to the store. And kids think it's a miracle when they see their teacher in Walmart. And like, what are you doing in here? I'm like, what are you doing in here?
Yeah, I think it's. I wasn't
You
going to
also
do it.
play in the Savannah Bananas band, don't you?
Yes,
I
you
do.
do.
So I see them all the time. And they all come to the game, so that's pretty fun.
That's really cool.
Yeah, that's a fun time.
Miss Allen, you mentioned becoming more, empathetic towards other parents. I remember I used to get so irritated when I would send out an email with like concert details, and then a parent would reply asking me a question that I answered like in the email, and I used to get really irritated about that.
You did
And
it.
then
Okay.
I had a
still-
kid, and I was like on month 3 of sleep deprivation. It's like if I make it out the door with the same sock on each foot, like we're having a good day, and I'm not at all mad about that anymore. I just like copy and paste like what they missed. I put it in the reply.
Yeah.
I'm like, here you go. And it does not bother me one bit. Cause like I now know why sleep deprivation is used as a method of torture.
Yeah.
Well, my wife takes care of everything for my son, and I take care of everything for my daughter. Like we divide and conquer. Like everyone's like, when is his performance for this? I'm like, my wife will tell me. She will get me there, but don't ask me because there's too much going on.
Yeah,
videos. Exactly why I make videos.
Yeah.
Right there.
Now, Neil, do you have another director who you teach with, right?
Yeah, Kristen is my assistant, so there's 2 of us. There's 2 of us, and I'm the head, she's assistant, and then each of the high school guys come over for each middle school, for each 6th grade class. So there's 3 of us in every 6th grade class.
Oh, nice.
That is incredible.
I say every, there's 2 6th grade classes, but still.
And they have a percussionist. Oh, that's great.
Yep. So when we divide and conquer, I've got them in brass and alto because she's a flute player, so she teaches alto. I'll teach high brass, and one of the band directors is a low brass player, so he'll teach low brass. And then the other class is flute, clarinet, and percussionist because I'm a percussionist. And the other high school director, which is my roommate in college, he's a percussionist, and she's a flautist. So we just kind of split up, and me and him have learned to teach clarinet pretty okay. But so there's a designated person pretty much for every section when we get started. So that's pretty nice.
That is wonderful. Someone in the comments just said, I am regularly on my own with 72 6th graders.
Oh, yeah. Ooh.
I have 61, and well, I'm going to have 61 after Christmas. I bring my beginning band together with my 6th grade band because I kind of catch them up. 6th grade, those kids only played like twice a week in 5th grade. Mm-hmm. And so then I bring my beginners and I combine them. So it's one big class. So I do get that extra period, Mr. Nesmith. And I'm hoping it doesn't get taken away. They're like, well, you won't have beginning band anymore. And I'm like, no, I won't. Oh, shucks. But I do like bringing them all together. To me, it's just easier having, experienced players next to kids who have been playing for a little bit while. I
think that's great that you have that opportunity.
Yeah, I have a really great just principal and guidance department that lets the schedule be flexible.
Yeah.
When it comes to moving kids around and whatnot. We also are a really fluid district. People move in and out all the time. So we're moving kids in I don't know. I got 2 new kids the week of my concert last week.
Yep.
Wow.
2 brand new students.
Our community is growing, and we had an influx. But like I have kids starting in 7th grade and sometimes 8th grade, and they just have to jump in. I just sit them next to responsible kids, and I'm like, you're going to help teach because I want them here, and my expectations are they do their best, and it works out usually. But I wish we had like a catch-up band. Sometime
This is the first year I've been able to put 7th and 8th graders in that beginning band, which it's adorable because I've got these little 6th graders, and then I've got this really tall 8th grade saxophone player sitting next to them, and they're like looking at him. They're like, he's our bodyguard.
I can't do anything like that because ours they're each class. We have 2 6th grade, 2 7th grade, 2 8th grade. That's kind of how they are.
Our kids cannot mix either. Like 6th grade is not going to ever do anything with 7th or 8th grade and vice versa. So
yeah, this is the only class I can do this in. Now I will say my 7th graders have lunch when my 8th grade has band, and our lunch periods are the same length as a class, 44 minutes. So a lot of my 7th graders will go eat lunch really fast and then come play with the 8th grade band.
I have a lot of 8th graders that'll do that with my 6th grade band. They come down and play.
Love it. And I just have to be like, hey, we're playing some fun music in 8th grade band. And they're like, I'm there. And they show up. I had 6 of them play at our concert. They had a blast.
Nice.
So
I am fortunate enough that when I switch, because I only start flute, clarinet, alto, trumpet, trombone. That's all we start. And when I'm ready to switch to percussion, and I try them all out, she'll switch them into the class if they got to go from second to third period or whatnot, or when I do French horns. So she'll move them in and out for me. So that helps me a lot, big time.
Yeah, my guidance counselors are both former band kids, so
Nice.
they work with me pretty well. So I can't complain ever about them.
Nice.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So my kids are blowing up the comments about Band Day. They want me to talk about it because you guys are mentioning stuff that's reminding them.
Wait, real quick. I gotta go. It was great seeing everybody. Chris, good seeing you again.
Bye, Rick.
Good seeing you.
All right, I'll see everybody later.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
See you, man.
So Band Day is a thing I came up with because I had a kid. I think she's in the comments, but she was like, "Mr. White, it'd be so cool if we had band the whole day." And I said, "I don't know if I can do that, but let's agree on half a day." And they're like, "Okay." So I talked to my admin, and it's coming up for us in about 3 weeks. But it's that week before Christmas when like everything breaks loose and no one's doing anything anyway. I was like, "How would you feel if we did something productive?" And they're like, "I'm listening." So I bring the high schoolers down to the middle school, and we basically do a district band with just our school's band kids. So we do 6 through 12.
Nice.
This year we're doing it the whole day. We're going to have 5 pieces of music, all grade half to 1, and it's all student-led. So they make their own announcements. All 5 songs are conducted by high school students. And it's just an opportunity to get the older kids teaching the younger kids and the younger kids to get more comfortable with sheet music.
You are doing the Lord's work.
Yes,
The
that's
week
incredible.
Before Christmas, Mr. White. Man, bravo.
That's cool. Nice.
I'm exhausted thinking about that.
It's pretty nice once you're there and they're seated because you teach the high schoolers like, okay, here's 4. You know, here's what you need to listen for. Did they play the right notes? You know, you don't have, if you're a flute player, you don't have to be a trombone player to see. You got half the trombones this far away from the bell and then this far away from the bell. Like, someone's playing something wrong.
Right. Yeah. Oh, Hingham Band Talk is watching. I really want them to join.
Oh, their stuff has been popping. It's
Oh
so
my gosh,
funny.
it's so
my
funny.
gosh.
Oh,
It's
I love
so funny.
them. Yes.
All right, I hate to run, but we're decorating our tree, so
Aw.
I'm going to go.
Nice.
Keep
Good
doing
for
that. I just
you.
want to say hey, and hopefully I can come on here with you guys tomorrow earlier.
Yes. We'll see you. We'll be on another time.
All right.
Thanks
bye,
for joining
y'all.
us, Neil.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Mr. White, you are getting so much clout right now. Like,
Yeah, you are.
let me tell you.
They like to bully me in person, and they asked if I was there when the pyramids were built. I'm like, you guys realize, like, you have siblings older than me. Like, that's where we're at. But I don't know, they get mean to me, and one of my favorite comebacks is I don't argue with people with baby teeth, so argue with the wall or be quiet.
Baby teeth. That's good. That's really good. I have to remember that. Mr. White is from before the dinosaurs.
But also born in 2000.
2000, man. You don't remember 9/11.
No, I don't.
You don't.
I was only 1.
Stop.
it.
I was born in 2000. Sorry.
What month were you born?
I was born on Marching Band Day.
I'm still younger.
March 4th.
March 4th.
Wow. I was
That's,
in college.
That's bullying to us older people here.
Older and wiser.
Yeah, well, you are, not me.
Hey, the older teachers in our district call it elder abuse when we make fun of it. So,
Mr. Knice is back with his cat.
Hey.
No Jimmy, we just got Ruby. I think the cat's name's Ruby, I think.
You got out of my 8 cats, you guessed the right name.
6. Yes.
8 cats. Wow.
I am good
This
with
one's
names
basically a
other
cat.
than Naismith.
Nesmith.
Nesmith. Oh.
Naismith is a basketball player.
That is
I'm
true.
not going to remember that. Nesmith.
That's quick, yes.
Okay.
Charlie is also fine. Charlie's great.
Charlie. I don't know where I found Charlie. I think it might have been in your podcast description.
Yeah, probably.
Yes. Go, guys, check out his podcast. I listened to one on the clarinets the other day, and I was like, I'm not teaching this right.
I've had a lot of very smart people on the podcast. I stole all of their ideas.
Yep.
Absolutely all of them. My favorite pedagogical one was actually flute. We had on a flute teacher from Texas, Helen Blackburn, and literally blew my mind. Like you guys, a lot of you guys go to Midwest. I saw her do a session at Midwest. It was like sort of everything you ever wanted to know about flute. And I walked up to her like at the end of the session. I was like, "Can we do a lesson like today?" And she was like, "Sure, let's go find an empty room." And we went and found an empty room, and we did like an hour lesson, like right then and there.
That's
awesome. I was like, holy cow. I was like, everything I know about flute is wrong. Oh my God. So then I had her on the podcast to talk about some of that stuff. And oh my God, just absolute genius. Absolute genius. Literally changed the way my flute sounded like the next year.
I soak up any flute tip I can get because I am so bad at teaching it. And I feel like I have more than I used to, but I still.
Yeah. As a trumpet player, I am a horrible flute player.
I would rather have. Go ahead, Mr. White. Sorry.
It's like put the finger here. Okay, so we have this one down. Okay, now put this one here, and then they always move the one that you just set down, and it's like stop the lid, leave it.
Yeah, Mr. Pritchard, he used to make band content. I don't know if you guys remember him. He did a fantastic video about flute thing. All right, now put your fingers here, and then their fingers would just be everywhere else. And
nail polish. I put nail polish on their keys.
That's what I do too. Yep.
And it just helps so much. Now my clarinets, because we're learning pinkies in my 6th grade right now. Nail polish the ones to put down.
I need to do that too to mine. I am bad about that with.
I don't do stickers because it just left residue, and I'd get some grumpy parents about it. So,
most of my kids play on school-owned instruments, so they belong to my school. Some of them don't. I don't know. How many of you guys? Do you guys have a big inventories, or most of it's rent?
No, we're trying to fundraise a lot of money to update. I have a $60,000 fundraiser we're doing right now to try and renovate kind of everything that we do, and a lot of that is just trying to get instruments for kids to play on.
Our school board, I haven't had new instruments in 24 years. So when I came here, I was in a building, and then I opened up a brand new building, and they bought me new stuff. But it's all 24 years old and older. I took a lot of the bad stuff. 2 weeks ago, they passed $340,000 to start buying new instruments for all 3 of our buildings, and it's like a 10-year plan every year. So we're getting rid of a lot of garbage and getting a bunch of new stuff. Today was my first shipment, and it was Christmas early, so it was wonderful.
Well, and for the older non-Gen Z directors, I don't know if you guys know about the event Flight 800. There was a flight with a bunch of students that went down on the East Coast years ago. So that was in 96, which is the year I was born. So we had a whole slew of equipment purchased then, and that was the last time that we've had a major investment. So the school, we just got a new drum line, which is great, but our band trailer is failing. Our raincoats are even older than that. They're from 89. And so we're working on that. But the biggest one is at the high school, I have one trumpet, and I just cleaned it today. We have one trumpet and 2 altos. We got a bunch of trombones though, so don't worry about that.
Have you tried doing an instrument drive?
We're gonna try that. Right now, the disparity is bigger at our middle school. By the high school, we normally, if kids are staying through, which our retention 7 to 12 is 98% now once they get to 7th grade, which that means they're stuck with me for 5 years, so they're really committing. But the middle school is where we just, with 5th grade, we don't have the ability to get everyone that wants to do it.
Are you a Facebook guy?
I am a Facebook, and
my community has its own page, whatever it would be for my hometown, and I put that out there. Anyone who has those instruments just sitting in their attic or in their closet, bring them in. We'll look at them, and that helps. So, my school district actually thought I had a lot of quality, great things, but I'm like, no, I have some cheap Walmart-y type things that I don't want them to have, but.
White glove specials, yeah.
Yeah, the ISOs, the instrument shaped objects.
Yep.
I'll tell a funny story, kind of wrap us up. We get donations all the time from people. People will drop off instruments or, hey, do you want this? Keyboards. more than anything. That's the thing that gets dropped off at night. Anyway, my secretary walked into my band room in the middle of like 7th grade band and handed me a sticky note, and it said, "Call the magistrate." And I looked at her like, what? The magistrate wants to talk to me? What did I do? And she's like, I don't know. And I was like, watch the band. I'm going to go call the magistrate. And her name is a funny last name, so I'm not going to say it because it'll distract the whole comment section. So I'm calling. I'm like, yes, Miss Magistrate. How can I help you? This is, Mrs. Allen. And she's like, oh, yes, I've got a trombone I want to donate. Do you need a trombone? And I was like, oh, so I'm not in trouble? Okay, good. Like, they just wanted to donate a trombone. Like, I was like, yes, bring it by. I'll take it. Yes, people, donate your trombones to your schools. Donate your trumpets, your clarinets. If it is sitting in a home and it is not being played, donate it. Find someone to play it. Like, that is huge. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
I bought a baritone off of
a child
Facebook.
not to play because they don't have the money. So I do that often. And
yeah, I will buy used instruments like real cheap and like get them kind of fixed up and then sell them for maybe a tiny bit profit or even just the same to students because I know I can get them looking good and better than maybe what they were on Facebook Marketplace.
Right.
So, Spitter's Strings just said if the district believes in the program, they need to support it financially.
It's true.
I'll double down on that and say if you want them to be at these events and you want them to be at these competitions and on the football field, you need to support them to see the revision follow through.
Yep. Brad Spinner's a killer teacher. He's at the district next to us. He's incredible. So he's also got a lot of good ideas and things to back that up. Mm-hmm. But he's worked wonders for their program there. So,
yeah, I would also encourage people to like ask and ask big.
Yes.
Like when I first started out at my school where I'm currently at, we only had 2 tubas. Now we have 10, which is great. Mm-hmm. But our budget was in the negative. And what I mean by that is like they would give us $2,000 a year, but our repair bill was like $3,000 a year. So we had to fundraise just to repair what we had. Wow. And I went to the admin and I was like, look, for the number of kids we have and the number of instruments we're missing, we need about $75,000. And I spelled it all out, like names, brands, models. I was like, we have this many kids. This is what we need. And I did it 3 years in a row. I brought in the proposal right before budget season. And on the 3rd year, they were like, all right, look, we can't give you $70,000, but we'll just up your budget to $12,000 a year. How about that? I was like, great. Hey. So they did. And it's been $12,000 a year every year since. And I've been able to buy like a tuba and like a horn or like a whatever. And now we finally have enough instruments for all the kids that we need. And I'm really fortunate that we did it before COVID because after COVID, the number of kids that I've had that needed school instruments like skyrocketed.
Yep.
It was like 12 kids before COVID and now it's like 75.
Yep.
And I'm glad that we have stuff.
Being that squeaky wheel and just going back and being persistent is what we need to do. And I think it's just part of our profession.
Right.
Like no one's going to do it for us.
Well, as much as I would love to keep talking to you guys, it is 10 o'clock. And I want you guys to please say a thank you to Mr. Allen, who's been moderating the chat, my husband. So please say thank you to Mr. Allen because he is amazing. And I'm super thankful for him and thankful for you guys for spending this Tuesday night with us and like chatting. And I'm going to do it again tomorrow night. So hopefully we can get some people that maybe couldn't get in tonight. I didn't realize it capped us at 9. So we'll see what happens. And if you guys don't come on tomorrow night, have a fantastic Thanksgiving.
Yes,
and if you're in the chat, guys, and don't follow these guys, go follow all of these accounts before you leave. Okay? Go follow all these accounts because they make some great content. So
thank you for setting this up.
Thanks, Ms. Allen.
Thank you. Yes, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Nice to meet you all,
this
too.
is a blast. I had so much fun. See you guys.
Bye-bye.